Hey, everybody, welcome to another episode of Black Sheep Rising, episode, I don't even remember, 33?
I don't know. It's not my job to keep track of the numbers. And you've got this episode 00 that just throws the whole thing off anyway.
We were just talking about keeping a counter for swear words. So maybe once I get on that, once I getting around to getting that done, then. But hey, you know what? My name is Conan. Daryl is here, of course, and we have a special guest this evening, Corey Moore of the Corey Moore Show. Wouldn't you know, sir? Thanks for coming in our side of New Hampshire. What brings you over here, by the way?
You know, I was just traveling through. I'm doing a bit of a trip down the East Coast, and I've always wanted to come to Keene. I've been familiar with the activism out here for many years, and I've never made it out here, so I decided to swing through here on my way down to Delaware.
And how's it been for you?
It's been a lot of fun. Everyone here is really nice and open, and there's been some craziness too. Most of it's involved Daryl, but I've had a fantastic time, and I'm a little sad I'm leaving tomorrow.
Did you do any activism while you were here?
Unfortunately, there's nothing going on the weekend, so no.
You just mentioned you were on two serious shows. How did that turn out?
Well, I was on Free Talk Live last night, and I was on Daryl's show today. And yes, very serious types of shows, although
upper class,
very
snooty,
very snooty.
I hate those guys.
It's not my style.
Either one of them are snooty.
Daryl just mentioned that this is his one opportunity in the week to get it all out of his system. He spends the whole week being all political and having his series shows and his series commentaries on his little. What are you doing these days? You still doing police accountability?
Police Accountability Report, the FPP Freedom Minute. Peace, Love, Liberty Radio, Free Talk Live.
And then he comes on this show and he just starts letting it all loose and getting vulgar sometimes even.
He's like a white girl on the weekend. You know, he just lets it all out.
I'm not entirely sure what that means, but...
She goes and picks her trailer trash buddies up from
I get to feel pretty, then okay.
I think that being a little vulgar and being a little, you know, I think it brings out the honesty in each of us. I think that it, being able to say what's on your mind, is important. I think if you bottle all that crap up and before you know it, you're nothing but a crazy, insane person.
Yeah, there's one of the chronic callers into Free Talk Live that I would just love to say, Dave, you're a fucking idiot. Stop calling. But I can't say that.
Well, I mean. You can do it on this show.
They tell them that they tell him that in the chat room though.
Oh,
of course
I've
he
heard.
doesn't listen.
Yeah.
You sound like a crazy person. I've listened.
He also goes into the Howard Stern chat room to intentionally harass the people because he doesn't like Howard Stern. And then he wonders why people post things about him on Craigslist in the Hudson Valley rants and raves section.
But the fact that we're talking about him right now,
he accomplished what he was after.
He's accomplished what he's after. Yeah. Like people know who he is, and we're sitting here wasting time talking about this loser.
Yeah. So this dude's got like 3 YouTube channels. So if you go YouTube.com and then type in Hudson Valley Guy 1. Hudson Valley Guy NY313, and then there's a couple others. Or you could just type in I'm not a leech, and you'll find a whole bunch of videos from this
You're giving this guy way too much, man. Hey.
I just want people to see that this guy puts out a lot of videos. He repeats himself a lot, and he's made several videos saying that he's not a pedophile.
You're going to be responsible for him getting a viral video.
Yeah.
And that's just not right. He's going to be on Tosh. It's just not going to be good.
Oh, I would love to see this jackass on Tosh.0. Does that show still exist?
I'm pretty sure it does.
Or did I just make a reference from 2009?
That is so 2009.
So 2009.
Yeah.
Where the hell have you been?
Just like a white girl.
I've not had a television that was hooked up to anything since 2010.
If you weren't taking your white girl moment weekends every weekend, you'd have more time to stay with the times.
Hey, I just downloaded all 7 seasons of Futurama plus all 4 of the movies. So I'm that's what I do in my free time.
Futurama's the new. Futurama's the new. What was the one you? Family Guy. Are they made by the same guy?
No.
They're not.
No, actually, Futurama's made by the
and
guy
The
that made The
Simpsons
Simpsons.
are the same.
That makes sense.
But you know what, Daryl? Speaking of you being a white girl, how many times a week do you get a mani-pedi? I'm just kind of curious because you got fantastic nails, and I'm kind of curious about this.
Is that what you call them? Mani-pedis?
A mani-pedi, yes.
What do you call them? Because you're the one getting them.
Chewing my fingernails.
What do you do? Just stick them in the grinder, the blender?
I just chew my fingernails.
That's so hot. Not gonna lie.
So what do mani-pedis cost these days?
The fuck if I know? I've never had one.
Or do you get the little Korean girl here in town who works on the side, the Agorist Korean?
There's a Korean girl in town?
Yeah. I told you. Oh, yeah. So anyways, most of the Asians that live in Keene actually work at Smith's Medical. I found that out because I couldn't find them. I didn't know where they're at, but I knew they were here. So they either work in the restaurants or they work at Smith's Medical. And then there's the Korean mani-pedist who works downtown. But she never works on the same corner because she has to, to spread it out. Otherwise, she get caught.
Daryl he knows what he's going to spend his next paycheck
on. Hold on. No,
and she does the goldfish thing, too.
That reminds me of an article that I stumbled across on the internets a couple nights ago.
Uh-huh.
The Keene Police Department apparently spent some, taxpayer funds to bust a guy from Newfane, Vermont, who was trying to pick up a prostitute on Craigslist.
Oh, really? Doesn't this happen like every week?
Probably. The guy thought that he was communicating with the prostitute, arranged a meeting. He shows up to the meeting, and instead of meeting a prostitute, he met two detectives from the Keene Police Department.
And he didn't cover it up as like a sting. Like, I was just investigating and trying to figure out what was going on so I can arrest her. None of that happened?
That wasn't put in the article that he tried to cover it up.
Yet. That's probably how it turned out, though. But this happens every week. I'm not even surprised anymore. I don't even cover the whole police accountability crap anymore. It's like, I kind of knew that a cop raped some person in a garage last week.
Yeah.
Oh, there was one.
But this was here in Keene, where the Keene cops spent your tax dollars to find a guy in Vermont trying to pick up a prostitute in Keene.
Well, so what are you saying? There's too many cops and they have too much time on their hands?
Yes, I've been saying that.
Oh, okay. Well,
TLDR, cops are corrupt. We know this.
TLDR?
Too long didn't read.
Well, hopefully someone who's watching this in Keene will, hear this tale of woe and come to the same conclusion that we've been at for pretty much forever.
Just like when college is in session, the KPD pays one guy to stand down on Winchester Court and catch college kids that have an open container.
Yep. Too many cops. Way too many. Corey, why 5 years, man?
Why 5 years? Well, I'm trying to finish out my undergrad degree. Mm-hmm. Then I'm going to get my master's. Then I'm going to
mani-pedist?
Yes.
Underwater basket weaving mani-pedist?
Exactly. How did you know?
It's the same course I took.
Master's degree in baiting?
That was my degree. No, I'm a liberal artist, actually, so...
I thought you preferred the term artisan.
I do. Well, no, I'm talking about my degree. They don't have a liberal artisan degree, but they do have a liberal arts degree. But,
you actually graduated? I thought you haven't
yet. But I have so many credits under my belt, I should have graduated.
Okay, we should have graduated and actually graduated aren't the same thing.
In my mind, I have. The biggest problem is how do you say you have 3.5 years of college under your belt? Actually, I have 4 years of college on my belt, but 3.5.
Okay, you just tell people, I went to school for 4 years and I never got a degree.
Yeah.
Or you can lie. People do that too. I mean, how often do they check?
Well, I kind of just did, but if it was on an official document, like a Keene Slantinel article, I couldn't say, yeah, I have a degree in this or that. But, I do it.
Well, you could always create the fictitious, Salada University of Advanced Studies, and then grant yourself a degree from that.
I could, or I can just say I'm an artisan.
So, where did you go to college?
I started at Santa Fe Community in Gainesville, Florida, and got most of my schooling done there. And I have to say that it was pretty nice because there were a bunch of old people who were trying to better themselves, and they were paying their own way. So there was this whole mentality of
old people do make college better. As odd as that sounds,
this whole mentality of people who were actually wanting to learn something new or make themselves better. And then I spent about a year and a half at Austin P in Clarksville, Tennessee, which is a state university, and it was just kids. And
it makes a big difference.
It's a huge difference. So, I mean, I probably ran into more kids who had no idea what they were about, no goals. They didn't care if they made Fs. I mean, it's just no big deal. I mean, if I flunk, I'll just go back to live with mommy and daddy. It was a incredible change of scenery and atmosphere, and I did not like it, and probably why I never finished up when I could have. Especially dealing with artists. Artists are the worst type of students. They can be horrible, nasty people.
As bad as athletes.
As bad as athletes. Except
athletes have a grade point average that they have to keep, otherwise they lose their scholarship.
The school helps them do that sometimes.
Yeah, I can't talk about that.
They still have a grade point average that they have to keep.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, the school does have somebody that helps them, pick courses that they'll get higher grades in. That way, if they get a D in a class, then it averages out to where they maintain the 2.5 to remain academically eligible so that they can still play.
It's horrible business. But you know what? The colleges make a lot of money off them athletes.
Yeah, they do.
Especially them footballers.
Oh, yeah.
Football pays for all of the other sports to exist.
Yeah.
Well, that and probably basketball. I think college basketball is pretty popular too.
It is, but the amount of revenue that comes in for the schools that are part of the major conferences in Division 1A football, it's the football program that pays for all of the other sports. Basketball is fairly self-sustaining, but doesn't really pay for anything else.
Good to know.
Yeah.
What is this football you speak of? What is this sport? Football.
You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I do. I can't stand football. It's so stupid. It's all big burly guys touching each other in the butts, passing balls underneath their legs. What's up with that? And baseball, too. Why do they got to touch each other on the butts all the time? It's this patent thing.
Camaraderie.
It's not gay if you say good game after slapping somebody on the ass.
I've heard the footballers say, well, they have their gear on, so if you pat someone on the shoulder, they can't feel it, so they don't know. And the same thing with the helmet. But baseballers don't have that excuse. They're not wearing anything but the little tight little panties.
I don't know. I don't watch baseball. Baseball's boring.
See, I love baseball. I don't know what your problem is. Baseball's fun.
Okay, you want to know what my problem is? Yeah. I'm a Cubs fan. Okay.
Well, I'm an Indians fan, so I'm in the same boat that you are.
Well, what does that have to do with anything? Explain that to me. Some guy who doesn't watch sports at all.
Okay, the Cubs haven't won a World Series in 106 years.
So you're rooting for the underdog?
They're already, even though the season hasn't begun next year, for the 2014 baseball season, the Cubs are already mathematically eliminated from the playoffs.
So wait, so you watch them because they won't be in the playoffs?
No, I don't watch them, but I'll keep up with standings.
Or do you root for them because they're the Bad News Bears?
I root for them because, yeah.
Underdogs.
Actually, I started being a Cubs fan because of Sammy Sosa.
Mm-hmm.
What a terrible reason to be a Cubs fan.
So why should we watch baseball?
It's the great American sport, right? Especially if you go to the ball
Just
game.
slap him into the hallway.
If you go to the ball game, it's definitely a blast to just go and get a hot dog and a beer, and sit there. And I've gone and watched other live sports, but there's nothing like going to a baseball game and being a part of that atmosphere. It's just,
okay, going to a game and watching a baseball game on television or listening to a baseball game on the radio, totally different experiences.
But even watching it on television isn't terrible.
Is boring as fuck.
It's not as boring.
I would rather watch Bob Ross.
Is that what helps? Is it the crowd?
The crowd,
Everyone's building you up.
And you can hear that on TV.
Now, if you want to know a good sport to go watch in person, hockey.
Yeah, that is true.
See, now I can see that especially when you got guys beating on each other, because that's just when they're they're being aggressive, they're trying to get that little puck, they're trying to knock it into a net.
Yes.
And some guy gets in their way, and they've got to start slashing them.
Yes.
That could be fun, and it's always moving. There's so much constant activity going on. There's never any times when the game is just at a standstill except during halftime. And it's the same.
They don't have halftime in hockey.
In hockey?
They have 2 intermissions because they have 3 periods.
Mm-hmm.
So you can't have halftime because half would signify, half of the game is over.
Well, you can tell
So
how
they
much
have
hockey I've
2
watched in my life.
intermissions.
I've
And
played.
that's when they bring out the Zamboni and it resurfaces the ice.
Gotcha.
And generally they'll have a Hooter girl ride around on the Zamboni with a T-shirt cannon.
That's his favorite part, of course. Now, Daryl, I want to just know, why are you a Cubs fan of all places? Because you're from the South, man. I mean,
Yes.
A Chicago
because
team.
I'm from Birmingham, Alabama. The nearest
Birmingham, Alabama.
the nearest
I'm gonna
city
do the
with
rest of the show
a
in
pro
this voice.
football or pro baseball team is Atlanta. And when I was a wee lad, the Atlanta Braves
Wait, Atlanta?
sucked. They absolutely sucked. They couldn't buy tickets to the fucking World Series. They sucked. And then Ted Turner's rich fucking ass started buying a bunch of players and bought a couple of championships. And I still don't like the Braves because fuck Ted Turner. So instead of the Braves, why not the Cubs? Because they're in the same conference.
There you go.
League or
Who's
whatever.
your favorite?
Oh, I'm an Indians fan through and through. Yeah, I mean, I grew up in Northeast Ohio, and I'm a big fan of all those sports. I think there's
Are
something.
you also a Browns fan?
Yes, I am a Browns fan.
Did you become a Ravens fan when the Browns moved?
I was actually too
but
young for
didn't
that.
yet have another. Oh wow!
That happened. I was a child.
Because there's like
fairly young
2
child.
years where Cleveland didn't have a pro football team
Art
because
Modell,
they hadn't got the expansion
total complete
franchise
asshole.
yet.
He just died recently, and people actually there was I believe there was a moment of silence at the Browns game right after he died, and instead of being silent, people booed.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
That sounds like
people in
something that
Cleveland
Browns fans would do.
They take their sports
Didn't-
seriously.
Didn't they throw dog bones at Santa Claus several years ago?
I don't remember hearing about that. But
Or was that the Eagles?
might have been.
It was either the Eagles fans or Browns fans booed Santa Claus and pelted him with dog bone dog treats. That's why I'm thinking it was the Browns.
Yeah, dog treats. I can see it. The dog pound. Yeah.
Horrible people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fucking booed Santa Claus.
Although I'm not a Cavs fan anymore. Ever since LeBron James left, I'm just salty about basketball in general.
All right, so get off this nasty topic.
Yes.
Before my,
And
before
let's talk about something equally nasty.
before I start crying.
And
here.
that would be Prince John. I love you, John. Not really. Go fuck yourself. John McLean and his buddies getting the city council to approve the hired attorneys filing the appeal of the Robin Hood decision.
So how has it been decided on what the secret vote was last week? Was this what they voted on? Do you think?
Don't yet know. Either myself or someone else is going to go file a 91A tomorrow to open up the minutes from that non-public session where they voted 12-0 on litigation, which we can presume was authorizing this.
And how are they able to even get away with something like that? What do they have to prove happened? Is it a case against the city or something? So now it's secret, or I mean, how do they get away with a closed committee?
A non-public session?
Yeah.
They vote to go into non-public session. And there are certain things under the statutes of you're allowed to go into a non-public session for this, or this. Mm-hmm. And since it's related to litigation, obviously they don't want the people that they're suing to be able to sit in on the meeting to know, they're going to file this and do it this way. So, there's reasons for having that be non-public at the time of the hearing.
Right.
But now that it's, been past 72 hours, which is the amount of time listed in the law, and also since the appeal has actually been filed, then hopefully we can open up the minutes of that non-public session.
Gotcha.
And the way appeals to the Supreme Court go, instead of just stating your case of, I'm suing for this, you actually have to ask the court questions.
Mm-hmm.
And we have a copy of the appeal filed by the city. And the city, or rather the hired attorney, Bauer, on behalf of the city, has asked 4 questions. And all of these, in my opinion, are very leading questions trying to bring out a certain answer. So the first question, as a matter of law, whether a municipality may bring a cause of action in negligence, interference with contractual employment relations with its employees, and civil conspiracy, and a petition for injunctive relief to protect its public employees from substantial workplace interference, harassment, and intimidation caused by private parties protesting government operations.
That's not a question.
It's not.
Oh,
it's
no, it is, because, see, the question mark at the end.
Yeah. Exactly. Are these pretty much
That's
all
a
the
statement with a question mark.
That's what I said. It's a very leading question.
These are all the same, though.
Is this
No,
like
no,
true
it's
or
not.
false?
What's the difference between all four of these? Because they all seem very similar.
They are very similar. But
And they all seem like statements.
There are minor differences. So question number 2, as a matter of law, whether the lower court erred in dismissing the city's cause of action.
Mm-hmm.
That's the difference of statement/question.
Gotcha.
The rest of the question being similarly worded to the first after it says whether a municipality may bring. So, can a municipality bring
Gotcha.
a cause of action? Did the lower court err in dismissing the cause of action?
Gotcha.
Question number 3, as a matter of law, whether the lower court erred in failing to balance the public employees' right to work without substantial interference, harassment, and intimidation against the private party's right to protest governmental operations. And the fourth question, and I would like to sort of discuss all of these, if we could. The fourth question, as a matter of law, whether public employees have legitimate rights and interest in their public employment worthy of protection by their public employer to work without substantial interference, harassment, and intimidation caused by private parties protesting governmental operations.
So this is essentially the exact same case they brought forward.
It has to be. You can't bring up new stuff in an appeal.
Right.
So what they're asking, the first question is whether a city can file a lawsuit against someone because that person is deemed to be interfering, harassing, or intimidating a public official while the private person is protesting governmental operations.
Right.
So here's sort of my short answer to all of these questions that are really statements with a question mark at the end. If you don't want your public employees to endure harassment, then don't put in their job description that they must endure harassment.
Mm-hmm. So that means this appeal has to fail just because of that clause, right?
One would think.
It's codified in law, then.
Well, it's also in the job description.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I mean,
the very first statement of the employee handbook for Keene police officers is must endure verbal and mental harassment and abuse.
You said mental. And it's absolutely right. I mean, so every single one of these statements is going to fall on its ass because of that one clause.
Well, unless
Right.
you have an asshole judge, and in that case,
And
Well,
we already have an asshole attorney
the
who wants
lower court judge dismissed the case
yeah,
and said that the 6 people being sued have a right to do everything that was done. Never mentioned whether or not any of the activity actually was harassment, just that they've got a right to do whatever they were doing.
Mm-hmm.
And, of course, the city presented no evidence that harassment actually was taking place. And there's a long history of legal precedent showing that, yes, you have a right to protest government employees. In the state of New Hampshire, Part 1, Article 8 says that public employees are, quote, unquote, at all times to be accountable, which means that you can talk to a government official at any time and they're supposed to be accountable to you.
Mm-hmm. And so
if they don't like what you're asking them, then that doesn't become harassment. There's a statute on harassment, and there's actually an exemption that pretty much says that public employees cannot be harassed under this statute. Like, it is not possible to harass a public employee under New Hampshire's harassment statute. It can't happen.
All right, so here's the way I see it. So they can't win this. So what is actually going to take place? What is actually happening?
Well,
The taxpayers who
in
are
about a year and a
who are
half.
paying for all this nonsense.
Well, first what's going to happen is the city of Keene is going to cut a $2,200 check for transcripts from the original 3-day hearing.
Right.
They're also going to cut a check for $250 for the appeal. Well, that $250 check's already been written.
Right.
One would presume that the $2,200 check has also been
All right.
written.
And so explain what are the transcripts? What are they composed of? The 3 days of court hearing.
Verbatim, word for word, everything that was said during the 3 days of preliminary hearing.
In the amount of $2,200.
Yes.
Already, just that's gone.
Yes.
Right off the top.
Not to mention whatever amount of money is being paid to the lawyers for preparing this 7-8 page document of an appeal.
So that wasn't included in that 2,200. That's
the 2,200 was just for transcripts. So the process is that the attorney for 5 of the 6 people being sued has filed a motion to allow amicus to be filed. Amicus briefs being layman's term, friend of the court, to where someone who is not a party to the case can file sort of a memorandum of law sort of thing of here's how I think you should rule, and here's why, and this is the broader impact that the ruling will have.
Mm-hmm.
So after the court decides to allow amicus to be filed, then there will be a window of opportunity for individuals or groups to file amicus. And sometime after that window of opportunity closes, then the court will decide whether they would like to have hearing on the case. And New Hampshire Supreme Court rules state that if there is a hearing, both sides have 15 minutes to present their case and answer questions from the panel of judges.
Right.
So if there is a hearing, it will most likely be a year and a half from now. So it would be sometime late May, early June of 2015. And sometime after that, is when a ruling will be made, and within, I believe, 30 days of that ruling is when a decision would have to be made whether to take this to the Supreme Court of the United States.
Well, it's absolutely ridiculous. It's an absolutely
Yes,
ridiculous waste of money, waste of time, and it's not even doing what the city wants it to do. It's actually bringing, us attention.
Yes.
National
They're
news attention.
failing at their own game, and but of course they're wasting our money doing it. They're toppling the system even faster by increasing the property taxes and whatnot the way they are, and increasing the debt.
So let's discuss this fourth question real quick. Mm-hmm. Or actually, let's go to the third question, because question 1 and question 2 are very similar. Question 3, it asks whether the court erred in failing to balance the public employee's right to work without substantial interference against the private party's right to protest. So
I guess the definition is what is, because we've already discussed that the clause is in the
right. So let's forget for a second that all of these extra meaty words are in there. Let's forget the word interference, harassment, and intimidation.
But the key word here is balance. The problem is the clause says your job will be filled with these types of things: harassment, intimidation, and whatnot.
Let's forget for a second that those are even in there.
Right.
And only answer the question of whether the court erred in failing to balance the public employee's right to work against the private party's right to protest.
There you go.
So, is there a right to be a government employee?
I think that's what they're pushing at.
Or at least for them to do their job. That's what they're asking.
Okay.
Do they have the right to do their job?
To do their job.
Yes.
Their job.
Yes, it does say it does say governmental operations.
Every one of the parking enforcers testified under oath that their job was to give directions to people that asked for directions, recommend places for people to eat, and write parking tickets.
I'm a cop, goddammit!
There are hundreds,
That's not one of them?
if not thousands, of hours of video of people Robin Hooding. Not once do you see anyone preventing a parking enforcement officer from talking to someone asking directions.
Right.
Not once do you see video of someone Robin Hooding preventing the parking enforcement officer from telling someone a good place to grab a burger. What you do see
a video
is
of
Robin Hooders dropping coins in meters, thus preventing the parking enforcement officer from writing a ticket. So, if the court rules that government employees have a right to do their job, in this case specifically to write parking tickets, then anyone who puts money in any meter, even if it's their own meter, is interfering with the parking enforcement officer from doing their job.
Daryl, you've turned it on its head, man.
Yep.
So how can anyone park downtown, attempt to comply with the city ordinance of parking without preventing or interfering in the parking enforcer's job ability?
Should have been a lawyer, man. We do need lawyers here in the freedom movement.
So the fourth question is very similar. Oh, and as far as why I didn't become a lawyer,
just let him
I'm not going to law school for a bunch of years.
And by the way, there is a video of a parking enforcer feeding a dog treats.
That doesn't sound a part of their job.
She has her.
None of them testified under oath that it was their job to feed dogs.
She had two bags. She had one for small dogs and one for big dogs.
And small treats for small mouths. I love you, Jane.
I do.
So, question number 4. As a matter of law, whether public employees have legitimate rights and interest in their public employment. Let's forget the rest of that sentence.
So essentially, both 3 and 4 ask the one question when you leave out those words.
Yes.
Do these people deserve more rights than everybody else because they're special people?
Right. Well, question 3 is, did the court err in failing to balance,
Failing to recognize that these people have special
recognize the rights of
these special people,
these godly saints who have descended down from Mount Vernon,
who are equal with teachers and firefighters and policemen. We should just all bow down and
Yes.
empty our wallets when they walk.
And question number 4:
throw the rose petals.
Do they have? And I love the wordiness choice here. Not only whether public employees have rights and interest in their employment, but whether they have legitimate rights, as if the right to protest is an illegitimate right. The lawyer here chose his words very carefully to sort of sway the court in how they answer.
It's very dirty.
So what I'm waiting to see is John Mayer's rebuttal to this. And
so he's on board?
What do you mean he's on board? He has been.
No, yeah, but I mean this is a different case. This is a different level.
It's not a different case. It's the same case.
But it's a different level of the same case. And we're talking about a year and a half, from now. Things could change. The fact that John Myers isn't making any money from this.
Yeah. So Daryl, you better go to law school and study
Bigfoot
up.
Case either.
But I mean, things change, and year and a half.
He supports free speech.
Right, I understand that.
This is his hobby.
Okay, well in that case, that's all I was asking. Is John
Ian
Myers
has
on?
offered to buy him lunch or give him gas money on numerous occasions, and John Myers says no. I'll buy my own gas. I'll buy my own lunch.
Excellent. That's what we need more of.
I'm doing this on principle. The Bigfoot case, I believe, went all the way to the state Supreme Court.
I haven't heard this. How did I not hear this?
I know I've talked about this before.
This is right up there with the Secret of Keene. I mean, what?
Okay, so there was a guy walking around Mount Monadnock. Gets up to the top, puts on a Bigfoot suit, and starts walking around. Then he takes off the Bigfoot suit and grabs a camera and starts talking to people about the recent Bigfoot sightings on Mount Monadnock. And then he went back a second time. And the second time he did this, a park ranger told him, "You're filming without the proper permits."
What?
Because if you're filming for commercial purposes, you need permits.
Was it for commercial purposes?
No, he was
just
making a Bigfoot documentary, but there's no, proof that he was going to sell it.
Right.
And so John Meyer took the case, and right after I moved to Keene, one of the headlines on the Keene Sentinel was "Bigfoot wins First Amendment rights at Mount Monadnock."
Excellent.
And lo and behold, it's the same lawyer.
Oh, these guys, man. Absolute parasites.
Yeah.
They don't have anything better to do.
No, they do have. This is how they make their money. And they make good money. I mean, if you're talking what, 20,000 to probably 20 to 30,000 for the initial case.
Well, and
for how many hours of work?
Something else that's
good money.
interesting. Something else that's interesting about the attorney that is doing this for the city, Attorney Bauer. He had put something out, I believe it was a little over a year ago. There was a PowerPoint demonstration, and you can find this on the website for that attorney group, which I believe is Callahan, Gallagher, and Gartrell. And there's a PowerPoint presentation on what to do with... It's Gallagher, Callahan, and Gartrell. And it's a PowerPoint presentation on what to do with civil disobedience protesters.
I remember that. Was it something, don't spray them down with a water hose?
No, it was talking about how to do legal actions against these people. And then, about 7 months later is when he gets hired on by the city to do what? Go after protesters.
Wow. I think it's god awful. I mean, and the fact that the people who are the 12 votes who actually voted for this move, which is we're pretty sure that's what happened.
Yeah.
But these people are of the same mindset. These are the people who we know who's really in charge of Keene. But these are the people.
When you say 12 votes, for clarification, there are 15 members of the city council. Mm-hmm. 3 people did not vote against this. There were 3 people that weren't there and did not vote.
Yeah.
So this passed unanimously. Everybody on the city council approved this.
To waste money.
Yeah, it's basically
on a lost
they're
cause.
Spending way more money on this than any amount of money that has been, quote unquote, stolen by the Robin Hooders. Something else that I'm really looking forward to reading, and yes, I know this puts me in the category of uber dork, but I can't wait to read all of the amicus briefs that are filed.
Those nerds!
Say that again, Daryl. I'm sorry, I was thinking nerds.
I said dork, not nerd, so fuck you.
They are different. They're
I can't,
similar, cousins.
You'd have to be intelligent to be a nerd.
Yeah. Dorks are clumsy.
Clumsy and intelligent.
Okay.
No.
Wait. Dorks? I thought dorks were clumsy and like...
Stupid.
like fanboys.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Well, geek then.
Geeks are smart fanboys.
Okay, then I guess I am a nerd.
There you go.
All right. Well, fuck both of you.
No, thank you.
Hey.
I didn't say who was going to do the
Oh, my
fucking-
God. Taking it to that level. Who is this guy you're talking about? Wait, what do you read again?
Daryl's good at crossing lines. He really is. I got
Well,
that story.
I told you.
I can't wait to read all of the amicus briefs.
Girls' night out, man.
Well,
Girls' weekend.
we were up at Pork Fest last year, and I was covering for Angel Clark's show.
This year. Last year as this year or?
This
2013.
year, 2013.
Porkfest X.
Yeah, we're not 14 yet. We got like 2 days.
2 days. So this past Pork Fest, and I was covering for Angel
By
Clark's
the
show.
time people see this, it'll be next year.
Shut up.
Go fuck yourself.
And Daryl gets on, and we start talking nonsense. But it was, no lines are being crossed. We're kind of like, that's my specialty, teetering on that line and not crossing it. And then Daryl brings up the whole Richard Pryor smoking cocaine and freebasing and lighting his hair on fire. And it just...
That didn't cross a line.
That crossed a line.
What line did it cross?
They could cross the line that a show at 5 o'clock in the evening, you don't talk about people freebasing cocaine. That's the line it crossed.
Wait, so it was after 9 or before 9?
No, 5 o'clock in the
Wow.
afternoon. It was a drive time show.
And it was on Angel Clark, which is none of that happens, right?
No.
But freebasing cocaine isn't... That's not a line. That's not a line.
Daryl doesn't get out.
No, I completely
nobody
get it,
wants to
but
hear
that's
that
not a
on
line.
That's a line.
If I would have said he was banging hookers, that's a line.
Yeah, it's kind of freebasing cocaine and banging hookers is kind of in the same ballpark, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, because banging hookers has sexual innuendo. Freebasing cocaine
It's
doesn't.
drug use.
But they're both indulging in their hose.
What if a child would have been listening to this
I know
and asked
exactly.
their parents, what's freebasing?
freebasing cocaine?
What is freebasing? Number one, what is freebasing and what is cocaine? Help me out here.
Where did you hear this? Oh, on the Andrew Clark show on one of those nice little pirate stations. And you just got a pirate station shut down.
Yeah. And that's what happened here
Hold
in
on,
Keene.
no. You can't get a pirate station shut down for saying freebasing cocaine.
You can get
That's not against any FCC regulations.
He's right.
That is true,
He's absolutely
but
right.
except for when he complains to the FCC,
Except when the old man complains, he calls into Cheshire TV. He's like, I don't know where those guys with the A behind them are cussing all the time and stuff. What's going on?
Although the first thing that got Howard Stern a fine from the FCC, I don't believe was in violation of any of the FCC ordinances or rules. Do either one of you, trivia question, do either one of you know what it was that got Howard Stern his first fine from the FCC.
Wasn't it something to do with like some of the in studio like women or something like that?
It was something in studio, but not with a woman.
No.
I don't have a clue. Is it in the movie?
It's not in the movie.
Okay, I don't know then.
There was a guy playing Christmas carols on a piano with his penis. Next trivia question.
Wait, what about Christmas?
To hell with happy holidays.
Oh, she said,
Yes. So, next question. Do you know what the former occupation was of the person that called the FCC to file the complaint?
Jew banker.
No.
one of those clown rodeo clown.
No. Take another guess. Although you're a little closer than...
Oh, really?
It was Rush Limbaugh.
No.
I don't fucking know. Just tell us, Daryl.
Come on, Daryl.
The person that called was an old lady, retired Marine drill instructor.
Ooh, drill instructor.
That got offended because some guy was playing Christmas carols on the radio with his penis, supposedly.
And that was like unpatriotic or something, or it was like...
No, that was highly offensive to this woman.
So she probably didn't see Full Metal Jacket.
She may have, pleasured herself to Full Metal Jacket.
But when it came to playing the Christmas carols on a drum with your penis, that was just over
Piano.
That was over the line.
Piano.
Which really takes some talent when you think about it.
One, it takes talent, and two, it's on the radio, so you don't know if he's actually playing with his fucking penis.
So how do they prove that it's really happening? Because you know what? That's not really something I won't even think about. But then when you say it like that, it's like, oh, my God, he's playing Christmas. He's not just, dabbing. He's actually playing a tune. All right, well, hold on. You've caught my interest. Now I want to know.
Yeah.
And then, of course, now I really don't want to see it, but I kind of have to see it now just to make sure that it's legit.
Is it so heavy that he does this thing with the finger and he's walking around the piano and
flicking? Yeah, how stiff does it have to be?
Or does he was he really happy and he just
Well, no. But here's the thing: does he have to Is he dunking?
Yeah,
does he stabbing?
See, this is the thing. It doesn't even seem like it's anatomically possible for this to happen.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's a bad joke.
Does he use his balls?
Perhaps.
Maybe that's how he gets
the harmony.
Yeah, how does he play chords? Yeah. He's got to play. Yeah, he's got to get more on there.
Or is he standing sideways up against the piano and he's just smashing his dick down on the keys?
This is wild. I
want to know this now.
I know you've caught my interest, Daryl. Why'd you do this? So is this on YouTube or something?
I have no clue. But it's one of the things that I remember from my radio broadcasting classes in college.
So this is what they do in college these days.
I don't know what the hell they do these days. I went to college 17 fucking years ago.
All right, listen, guys. If you don't want to get kicked off the air, this is what you don't do. However, if you've got a good show and you want your show to climb the ladder of popularity, this is what you do.
Yeah. Howard Stern became famous because of all the FCC violations that he racked up.
Yeah.
And they were never for anything good. I mean, it was always really stupid shit that got him in trouble. I mean...
Yeah, having a guy supposedly play Christmas carols with his penis.
Or, I don't even know all the things.
Telling a lady to lay the radio down and turn up the bass, and then he hummed and gave her an orgasm, and that was in the movie.
When I was a young lad...
And then Pig Vomit, also known as John Adams.
The guy that I grew up with was Bubba the Love Sponge.
I believe he's still.
Someone mentioned that he's still around, and I had never heard Howard Stern because I guess he was on some station that I didn't get or satellite or something. So I had to deal with Bubba, and I loved it because it was coming out of high school and going out to the workforce and working on construction all day long. Listening to Bubba was great.
See, we didn't have any of these nationally syndicated shock jocks in Birmingham.
Because you guys are all Bible Belt and shit?
Yeah,
no, because Daryl's 50 years old.
No, Howard Stern was popular when I was growing up. I remember when Howard Stern had a television show on WOR. And WOR came across on my cable.
Back in my day.
And...
Hold it up, Daryl.
I'm so fucking confused.
I'm an old man and I only know Howard Stern.
And Howard Stern started off the show with his monologue, and then he
Would you like me to get on your lap for this story,
no.
Grandpa?
And,
I got a Santa Claus hat in the other
and
room.
then he
Bounce me on your knee.
then he had the celebrity squares, Hollywood Squared sort of parody that he did, and there was a bed commercial.
I feel like the
where
kids
he
on How I
had a
Met Your
couple
Mother.
of really hot chicks bounce up and down on the beds, and then he said, when we come back, the all-nude lesbian circus. And they never came back from break.
Oh, those guys.
He got canceled in the middle of the show and never came back from break.
Did he come back to another show, though?
After like 20 minutes of commercials, because it was live during the show.
Yeah.
And they're just fill it with commercials until the next show comes on.
Do it
Just do it live.
Fuck it.
Oh, that's a good little clip.
Yeah.
That's another one. Bill O'Reilly, man.
He's another shock type.
He was, and then now he's not. I mean, he is, but he's kind of turned that to his advantage with trying to rile people up for the Republican Party. You know,
I used to watch him many years ago.
Pinheads and Patriots and that kind of thing.
I remember that.
Which is kind of genius when you think about it from a propaganda standpoint.
Bill O'Reilly versus John Lennon epic rap battle is fucking hilarious.
I haven't seen that one yet.
Yeah, it's hilarious. Where it ends with him doing the "fuck it, we'll do it live" line.
That man has some anger problems.
Yeah.
Have you guys seen God Bless America?
But do you think he's worked that out of his system over the years, and as he's gotten older and tamer? No. You think he's all there, and he's just bottling it up, and maybe he's after hours he's banging hookers and doing coke and punching homeless people in the face.
All those old fat conservative guys, they all do that. That's what they call
that's part of their bag.
A Friday night. Yeah.
So Daryl has the woman's night off, and then people like O'Reilly are out there, what?
It's just all debauchery.
It's nasty.
It's all debauchery.
It's horrible. Get it out of your system, guys. Don't bottle it up and become O'Reilly.
But if you've ever watched Family Guy, you know that the little kid from Wonder Years is actually Rush Limbaugh, Michael Moore, and all of the big-time celebrities.
Wait. The little guy
Ben
from
Savage?
Yes. No, not Ben.
Not Ben Savage.
The other one. His brother that was in the Wonder Years.
The other Savage brother.
Keep in mind, we're both young, and we don't know what show you're talking about.
I know what show he's talking
You're
about.
2 fucking months younger than me.
I don't. The Wonder Years? Savage. That's the only guy I can remember from that show.
Right, but what was his first name?
Ben?
It's the kid that played Kevin. No, Ben's his little brother.
I don't know, dude.
No, I think it is Ben Savage.
So-
I think his little brother has... I don't know.
So anyways, who
No,
is...
the little brother Ben played Corey in Boy Meets World, and now him and Topanga have a daughter, and there's Girl Meets World.
Are you watching that on the Disney Channel?
No.
Because I'm sure you love the Disney
I
Channel.
don't have cable or satellite or anything. I've got this thing called the internet.
AKA you're cheap. And
Help us out, Google.
There we Fred
Savage.
Fred Savage.
So now who is he? Is he one of these Republican types?
No, according to Family Guy, he is Michael Moore and Rush Limbaugh and all of these other people. He just
their
has
love child?
No, he's got suits, and he puts on fat suits to go be Michael Moore, and then he goes home and pulls off the Michael Moore fat suit and puts on another fat suit, and then he goes out as Rush Limbaugh.
So he's like an Illuminati spawn. He works for...
No, he's just the world's greatest actor. And
yeah, but why is he doing it, though?
He plays all of these characters.
Is it to prove a point to himself, or who is paying him? Is my
the
question.
Money.
It's all about the money.
It's the money.
So essentially,
it's all about the Benjamin.
So he's creating this bipolar culture,
and it's not just those two. Like he's got a bunch of other people's suits in his closet.
I bet you Ann Coulter's one of those.
If you can pull that off.
Well, I mean, look at the Adam's apple on him.
She's got man hands.
She does. I'd do her.
Now I have to see another picture of her.
Donkey punch.
I haven't seen her in a while. And OCOUL.
I remember at the Students for Liberty International Conference this past year, she was there on the Stossel show, And she basically insulted everyone in the room and said that libertarians. She's like, libertarians and pots.
This one?
That one.
Oh my God, that's fantastic.
Is that how you see Ann Coulter?
That's the best picture.
He's got
ever
that.
of
You know,
Ann Coulter.
I stayed at the CAC for a day and I looked at above his bunk, and that's one of the pictures he has on the top of his bunk.
I believe it.
It's got a couple splooge marks on it.
I believe it. Oh, there's your. Do you look at that one often?
No. Make it go away.
Yeah, I used to not respect her or anything, but I used to want to maybe,
Make a race of anarcho babies with Ann Coulter.
little skeleton babies, giraffe babies with long limbs.
What's this one say? The truth hurts. Where the hell did it go?
But I think more than anything, I just like her spunk and her attitude.
Mm-hmm.
She's pretty, but I mean, she's also very, in your face. And I think that at the end of the day, that really does matter. Even if your argument is wrong, even if you're a dumbass, the fact that you can,
that you just don't give a fuck.
attempt to back it up by being, in your face. I got to do something about that. So, anyways, we're right about at the first break. We are going to leave you on one of my favorite comedic bands, which is The Lonely Island.
Yeah.
They did most of their stuff on. In fact, I think pretty much every song they've ever done ended up on the Saturday Night Live digital shorts. I think that now that they're not there any longer. Well, I know that Sandberg is not on Saturday Night Live, so I don't know what they're going to be doing with their future endeavors. But this is one of the songs that both the song and the video are especially great. It's
hilarious.
It's one of those. It's a spoken word comedy or parody. Excuse me. It's called "Threw It on the Ground." It's by The Lonely Island, and.
You know what I'm going to do with this video?
You going to throw it on the ground?
I throw it on the ground.
I was walking through the city streets, and a man walks up to me and hands me the latest energy drink. Run faster, jump higher. Man, I'm not gonna let you poison me. I threw it on the ground. You must think I'm a joke. I ain't gonna be part of your system. Man, pump that garbage in another man's veins. I go to my favorite hot dog stand, and the dude says, you come here all the time. Here's one for free. I said, man, what I look like? A charity case? I took it and threw it on the ground. I don't need your handouts. I'm an adult. Please, you can't buy me hot dog, man. At the farmer's market with my so-called girlfriend, she hands me her cell phone, says it's my dad. Man, this ain't my dad. This is a cell phone. I threw it on the ground. What, you think I'm stupid? I'm not a part of your system. My dad's not a phone. Duh. Some poser hands me cake at a birthday party. What you want me to do with this? Eat it? Happy birthday to the ground. I threw the rest of the cake too. Welcome to the real world, jackass. So many things to throw on the ground. Like this and this and that and even this. I'm an adult. Two Hollywood phonies tried to give me their autograph. Nobody wants your autograph, phonies. Then the two phonies got up. Turned out they had a taser, and they tased me in the butthole. I fell to the ground. The phonies didn't let up. Tasing on my butthole over and over. I was screaming and squirming. My butthole was on fire. The moral of this story is you can't trust the system. Man.
Hey, welcome back to Black Sheep Rising, Hour 2.
Woo!
You can't trust the system. You never can. The
What
system.
happened to hour number 1? I threw it on the ground.
There you go. So, what about goldfish?
Goldfish?
You
The
said-
little crackers? It's the snack that smiles back.
Oh, until you bite their faces off?
Yeah.
That's really sadistic of you.
I know.
Hold on. When you eat animal crackers, do you ever pretend that they're actual little animals and like play with them before
I
you
don't
eat them?
eat animal crackers though. That's the thing.
Yeah.
Do
You know,
You damn gluten-free fucking.
for the longest
fucks.
time, Sashi was a big animal crackers kid. And we'd always get the crackers for her. And I would attempt to help her with the process. Like, all right, this is what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to bite the faces off. And
No, you bite the legs off so they can't run away.
or even better yet, you bite the half of one and half of another, and you put them together and you make
Yes.
new creatures. You take your newfound godlike powers, and you make new animals.
Yeah. And then occasionally the elephant will just go over and gore the goats.
Well, I don't know about all that. I was all into about the interspecies creation. I thought that was great stuff.
But like, if you'd ever pull two of them out at the same time, they'd have like one of these little animal fights, and the elephant would kill your
Never.
next cracker
No.
for you.
My animals were very peaceful. There was only one madman, and it was me, the mad scientist.
And then-
Daryl, let's talk about your disturbing childhood and why you felt the need
All right.
to take these animal crackers and attack other animals. I mean, they say that that's a precursor of someone being a sociopath. They start with that kind of stuff, and they start, lighting cats on fire and things like that.
I can't even. I can't even.
Did you light a
respond to
cat on
this.
fire?
Have you even
No.
seen this movie? You know where this goes, right?
I have no clue what the fuck this is.
Yes, you do. It's the Omen, the spawn of Satan.
Oh, yeah, I saw that when I was like 12.
He was like killing his step parents, and he killed his little daycare lady. The little
Damien. Yeah.
great stuff. You know what? He was
That's so 30 fucking years ago.
he was the guy who took his animal crackers and he was having them attack each other and eat their faces off.
No.
No.
I'm pretty sure it was.
Yeah.
No.
I think he took the animal crackers and he dipped it in the blood of squirrels that he had laid out on the forest floor, and he'd
No.
with
No.
stakes.
No.
Have you ever
Like
been to
an Ender's Game.
psychotherapy?
No. No.
This is his
This
psychotherapy.
is his psychotherapy right
This
here.
is my group.
all of his shows, he's getting it all out. This is the end of the week. He's getting it all out. Anything left over, Daryl's.
This is my group therapy session. And I'm not charging the taxpayers $220 an hour.
That's right.
We love you, Daryl. Group.
Oh crap! Hey, do we
I
have
almost believed you there for a second.
any news this week?
News of the weird. Yeah, there's some French bastard that fined
Always the
a
frogs.
bar
Always the frogs.
€9,000.
Which is what in American these days.
That's roughly $12,430, I believe.
How many bitcoins is that?
I don't feel like doing the math right now.
About-
But the reason
I was
that I
about to think
guessed
you were Rain Man
12,000
there for a second.
Yeah, no.
430.
It's about-
no,
but
hold
about-
on,
but about
because
12
I pay my SoundCloud every month, and it's €9, and so when I recently paid that, it was $12.43 US. So I'm guessing that the rate of exchange hasn't fluctuated too much in the last week.
It's about 12 bitcoin, maybe. No, it's got to be more than that. Yeah, about 12, 13, 14 bitcoin.
It's a lot of Bitcoin.
Yeah.
Sure is.
So
It wasn't a year ago.
The French pub was fined €9,000 after customers took empty glasses back to the bar. So here's my question. Did they go back to the bar with their empty glass to say, I would like a refill, oui, oui? And then the line was just too long.
That's the most
so,
racist shit I've ever heard in my
And
life.
so
that's
they
crazy.
dropped the glass on the bar and was like, fuck this place. Oh. And then they left. Or were these people, being nice and taking their empty glass up to the bar so that the hot French chick that is the bar wench didn't have to go over to the table and...
How does bar wench translate into French?
Le wench,
Le
bar.
You got the le right because it's a feminine noun.
Yeah.
I don't know. Le wench.
Le wench. Yeah, let's just say le wench. So they took their glass up to le bar, so le wench didn't have to walk over to le table and pick up the glasses.
Very nice. Very nice of that. That's a very nice gesture.
Because she's hot, and you figure if you do something nice for her, you could chat her up a little
doesn't
bit.
have to be- she doesn't
Well,
and
no,
get their
I
phone
heard service
number.
in France sucks because they don't tip. So they probably were like waiting there for 15 minutes and they're like, you know what?
Maybe they didn't tip at all, and they're like, "All right, fuck, I didn't realize.
Just the tip.
I didn't realize how much we spent on the meal. I don't have any more for a tip, so what? I guess I'll just take my plates and dishes back."
Well,
to the
in
counter.
Europe, tipping isn't customary because the prices are higher, and therefore the people get paid more. So
I wish that was
you
the way it
don't
was here.
tip.
I can't stand tipping. I have to say, I hate it.
Okay, so the
Passionately.
next time you go out to eat,
I don't go out to eat because I
Ask-
hate tipping.
okay, the next time you go to Social Sundays, ask Phyllis if she'll charge you 20% more for your drink.
15% more, maybe. And I've already done the math for two drinks on a Sunday, and I'm tipping her $1. I'm already going way above 15-20%.
$1 for 2 drinks?
And yet I get hell all
It's
the time
generally customary to tip $1 a drink.
per drink. I know,
least.
but I'm a cheapskate. And I don't believe that if I'm going to go get my drinks and return the glasses every time, that I'm going to, go that route.
Yeah, if you're taking the glass up and getting the drink from her at the bar and then taking the empty glass back, then yeah, $1, yeah, that's fine.
I don't know. I'm a generous tipper because I've worked service before and I understand what it's like to work all night and not get enough money.
Yeah.
Walk out of there with $20. You worked an 8-hour shift. It's bullshit. So I generally tip 20-30%.
Well, I really wish, this is why I wish they would just do away with the whole tipping atmosphere. I think it's this whole having to concern yourself with either cheapskates or complete assholes or, and hopefully one day you'll get that generous tipper. Just do away with it and just say, hey, look, I want to, if I swear to God, if I open a restaurant, I'd have a big sign up saying, do not tip my people.
Dunkin' Donuts has that sign.
Because I handle it, because I pay for it already.
Dunkin' Donuts has a sign
I can't stand tipping at buffets.
that says
Yeah, I don't tip at buffets. That's bullshit.
It's like
you are
run and
not
get a
allowed to tip our
you brought me a water and
employees.
that's it. And that's it. And I never saw you again. I went and got all my food. So Dunkin' Donuts works that
Dunkin'
way?
Donuts has a sign, at least the one in Newport. I haven't paid attention to either of the ones here in Keene to see if they have the sign. But I know for a fact the one in Newport has a sign that says, tipping is not allowed. Any money left behind will be considered abandoned.
Wow.
So what do they like? Take it out back, put it in a barrel, and burn it?
No, it goes to
No.
the manager.
No, it just goes in
Exactly.
like the need a penny, take a penny thing.
No, it'll
It
go
goes,
to the
it goes to the
manager.
it goes to the manager's box.
No, I asked one of the guys that was working there one time, what happens if I leave $1 on the counter?
Wow.
He said it has to go in the need a penny, take a penny thing.
So here, you heard it here first, folks. Go to Dunkin' Donuts, check that out. You might be able to get some free cash.
If you're the hanger about her and you just wait there at the counter, you might see the dollar that gets left, and you can be like, all right, there's my donut. There you go.
That'll work for you. Since you said you're such a cheapskate.
Well, I mean, I have the money. It's just that I always when I see the work that is done, I evaluate that work, and I come to one conclusion or another, and usually it is no. The work that you did for me was not worth $1.
Okay,
You pulling the handle down and filling my beer cup up twice was not worth $1. And no, I know that money's not going to the guy who's washing the dishes. It's going to you, and that's all you did. You didn't do anything else. So no, it's I'm going to give you $1 and that's it. You're not getting any more from me. But now if you're the asshole who is at
This
the
is
table,
the guy.
if you're the asshole at the table who's eating chicken wings and you're getting grease all over the place and you've got nasty napkins all over and it's just a mess and you spilled your water once or twice, yeah, I mean that's when you tip. I mean because into the waiter or waitress is actually
This is the kind of guy that when I worked for the car wash would come in and get the super deluxe Extremo wash and then come out and bitch because there's one speck of dirt still on like the door.
Well,
no, I'm
And then doesn't tip because, well, I paid $40 for my wash. I'm not giving you any extra
No,
fucking
I'm
money.
absolutely not that guy because I would never go to a car wash ever.
So you're
That's
even
why-
worse than that guy.
No, that's why I have kids. Takes care of it for you. Duh.
You're even worse than that guy that comes in and doesn't fucking tip.
I know because exactly, and that's what the argument of this story is. So here I am. I'm not paying. I'm not providing that $40 to provide you a job, which is the whole argument here. They're taking their dirty silverwares and plates and cups back to the counter, and somehow that equates to they are taking the jobs away from the waiters and waitresses.
No, they're not taking the job from the waiter and waitress.
They're doing the job for them.
No, they're taking the job of the busboy.
I'm sorry.
Or les busboy.
That's right. It's
L
French.
bus la busboy.
No, it's
I think you're wrong.
Les.
L.A. is feminine. L.E. is masculine.
I thought les
we could
went
consult
was.
somebody in the room
I
who
don't
actually
fucking
speaks
know.
French.
But the question is whether
I took Latin. Damn it.
no. But the question is, but some words are feminine, some are masculine. So the question is busboy masculine or feminine? In my book,
It's got the word boy in it.
yeah. Maybe bus person is the French way.
Busser.
The busser. Le bus.
Le bousser.
Les Bousser.
Hey,
Le bousset.
if you know the answer to
All
these,
right, because you don't pronounce the R's. Le bousset.
yeah, there you go.
Le bousset?
No.
Le bousset. Yes.
Is that what you? Next time
They're
you,
taking the job of Le bousset.
oh my
Les
God.
Bousset.
So how do you feel about this? Do you think how long until now do you think this is going to affect our own little communities like here in Keene? Someone's going to be out there protesting every time we have a social Sunday because what do we do at the end of the nights? We pull the tables and chairs back to where they were when we got there.
All right, so hold on. Let's
We're doing Phyllis's job for her.
let's
right?
read part of this article here to find out actually what happened, because as of right now, we're just sort of speculating.
That's
which is
all
what we
talk
always
radio.
do.
So,
we do every
The
show.
owner of Le Florche told Le Telegram, and I'm not making either of those up. It's in the fucking article. So go read Le article. The owner. Oh, the owner Marquet Le Floch told Le Telegram around the midnight, a customer returned drink trays. She passed by Le Bar to go to Le Toilet. Then that's when it all kicked off. And you took the fucking article away, you
There it
jackass.
is. Go.
My husband was pinned against the glass by a man. A woman leapt on me, showing her ID. And then I realized it was the Nazis. I mean, URSSAF. They told me I had been caught using undeclared labor. Is a scam. We haven't committed any wrongdoing.
Did you practice any of that before you came on the show?
I did not.
You know what? I actually had a French theme, and I don't know what happened to it. That is horrible.
We were shocked by this, and we're certainly not going to pay the fine. So, bravo on your stand against the URSSAF Nazis from France Bleu. Or the Nazis told France Bleu they refute the owner's account of the incident, but do not provide any details about what the fuck they claim happened. So this reminds me a lot about the news coverage around the Robin Hood thing back in the spring when the initial lawsuit was filed, to where all of these media outlets were coming to Keene and doing news stories.
All over the place.
All over the place.
And the emails.
They were speaking to some of the Robin Hooders, and then, lo and behold, almost all of the reports ended with officials from the city refused to comment. Or, I'm sorry, they didn't say refused, declined to comment.
Except the Sentinel, which had an official statement from the city.
Yes.
Because
But Good Morning America and almost all of these other outlets that were covering this thing had statements of officials from the city declined to comment. And so locals that don't like the Robin Hooders were getting all bent out of shape. They're only giving half the story. It's about more than putting money in the meters. It's about topless people open carrying and smoking pot and molesting old lady crossing guards. And they said that this one guy killed brown babies. And they didn't cover any of that.
You're losing your fucking mind, man.
I never had it.
You never.
So
I know it's laying over there on the floor.
So, they were getting bent out of shape because, well, Good Morning America only gave half the story because the city didn't want to talk.
Yeah.
So right here, it's another case where it says a spokesperson told France Bleu they refute the owner's account, but it doesn't say what the Nazi group actually thinks happened or what they're claiming happened. So they're only giving one side of the story and just saying the officials say that it didn't happen that way. So what do you guys think happened? And do you think that Frenchy French, Marquet Le Floche, will go all the way in not paying this fine? Or will she bend over and wind up giving up the money?
I certainly hope so. I know that our very own McHughes fell very recently when it came to the whole the liquor sting, where they what are you doing?
He's doing
Is
coke.
that your vape? Corey's got his vape. You got yours.
He's got his vape.
Which
Vapo inhaler.
Mine's bigger than yours.
Bitches.
Uh-oh.
Compare it.
Put them up. Let's get the measuring tape out.
Come on.
I got one over in the cabinet there.
No,
Get through
no.
Hold on. I'm just comparing the Vapo part.
Are you
it's way bigger.
So wait,
You're compensating.
I'm not overcompensating for anything.
wait, you got girth and he's got length? I mean, what's going on here?
I've got length and girth. What
and
the
you've got
hell?
a little twist on it too.
Yeah, right.
And rib for her pleasure.
Well, I don't have that one here with me actually.
He does have one that is ribbed.
Do you have the diamond and studded one?
This
Oh
one's
my
ribbed for her
God!
pleasure, yes.
That's like a little grenade.
Oh well,
Like
don't say that.
like a long grenade actually.
They're gonna think a Matera's coming.
It's like
up
a
in this
mortar
town.
shell.
I know it's like Matrix. Something he would pull out of his little cloak there.
The thing from Men in Black where they flash it.
Yes.
Yes.
Actually, that's probably what it is. Isn't
Are you
it?
going to
That's
do
what
the
it looks
little
like.
flashy thing and then give me a different memory?
Is that some kind of Egyptian symbol on there? What's that T thing?
It's called the Tesla.
As in
not
Nikolai.
not the car company.
Not Nicola's version, but some other Nicola.
Perhaps.
Nikolai Tesla was a fucked up in the head bastard.
When he went his way, I heard some stories. I heard that he was talking to
Towards
pigeons
the
and
end
shit.
of his life, he talked to pigeons, and there was one special pigeon that he believed he was in love with.
This is
And-
the drunk history version of this, by the way.
And
Is that right? You just quoted it.
The
word for word.
special pigeon could shoot laser beams out of her eyes.
Ooh, lasers?
See, this is what happens when a man goes his whole life without sexual pleasure.
It's
He
not
goes
been my
crazy.
entire life. It's just been
So he's
a
just so it's
while.
all about the mental pursuits, you know.
I was talking about Tesla.
I've got a kid.
But okay.
and
It's just been a while.
Poor girl.
so essentially Nicola at the end of his days was a
Crazy motherfucker.
little bit out of his mind, and But he was still good. But during his heyday, man, he did some good things.
Yeah.
There's a reason why the aliens took him
inventing
out.
the death ray.
Wait, do you think the aliens took him out, or that's where he got all his good things from?
I think you're making shit up.
Do you think it was man?
I think you're making shit up.
Do you think Edison had him assassinated? Do you think Edison tamed a pigeon to love and coax Nikola into a state of coziness, if you will?
No.
In a catatonic state.
Yeah, exactly. So he stopped being inventive and he stopped thinking about his researches and whatnot. He just kind of went off and became an old man.
In his latter days, I like to imagine that Nikolai Tesla was a lot like Hubert Farnsworth.
I don't know who Hubert is. Help me out, man. I only have so many brain cells in my head.
Nobody with the
I can only know so much.
Futurama reference.
I got it.
Okay.
I don't watch Futurama or Family Guy. Sorry. I'm a South Park guy.
I'm with you on that one.
Okay, so Futurama, there's the senile old professor named Hubert Farnsworth.
That's not the tentacles guy? Who's the guy with the tentacles? Is that the
Zoidberg.
That's the doctor?
Yes, that's Dr. Zoidberg.
The professor's the guy with the old wrinkly face?
And the thick glasses.
Gotcha, okay.
I think the bigger news here is that Daryl has a child.
Yeah, we don't get to talk about that much because it's sad on Daryl's heart.
Okay, we won't talk about this then.
We don't talk about that, but yeah.
We love you, Daryl.
I'm an old fuck.
He is,
basically.
for sure.
Yeah.
I'm so fucking confused.
I love that drop.
Where did you get that clip anyway?
I don't know. I've got a lot of you, man. I've got more Daryl drops than anybody.
All right, let's hear them.
No. They got to make sense. Okay,
No, they don't.
Yes, they do. I'll play this one.
I could stab your eyes out with a spoon.
Yeah.
Okay, that's it.
I could.
No more. Okay.
If I wanted to.
So the guy with the glasses, the guy with the thick glasses, what did he say?
When?
It was some kind of joke that you made. Some kind of reference to the guy with the thick glasses on Futurama.
Yeah, I like to think of old senile Nikolai Tesla as a Professor Hubert Farnsworth type guy.
Okay, that makes sense, and I don't get it.
He just made all kind of weird, wacky inventions that didn't really make a lot of sense. Like
I know,
the
but
smelloscope.
Yeah, but I know, but no one knows Nikola as this old, crazy, senile guy. He's always known as.
But at the end of his life, he was an old, crazy, senile guy.
Yeah, but no one remembers him for that unless you actually investigate. That's all I'm saying.
I'm not saying that's what I remember him for.
Kind of like no one.
I just picture his latter days like that.
Kind of like no one knows that Lincoln was a racist. Well, no one knows that because this is not it's not what we learned in school.
Yeah,
government daycare, if you will.
Yeah. Like Michael J. Fox. It's not considered to be politically correct to mention the fact that you can't take a still photo of him anymore.
Wait, say that again. Explain that.
Michael J. Fox.
The guy with the Parkinson.
He's got the Parkinson's, so he's all shaky, so you can't take still photos of him anymore.
It'll blur?
Yeah.
What if you have it on sports shot?
He's moving too fast.
He still moves too fast.
He's more athletic than like a ping pong player.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
You can't capture the ping pong ball in a photo because it's just moving too fast.
If you've got it on the right shutter speed, you can.
No.
Sure you can.
No.
Come on.
Nope.
No, they got this.
No.
Really?
Dude.
No.
Dude.
Hold on.
We have the technology.
Dude, we've got there are cameras who can capture that kind of thing.
I don't know,
man. It's not.
I don't believe it.
You just.
I don't believe it.
On the face space that you were commenting on the whole the reflection, being able to catch people's portraits and a reflection of someone's eye.
Did you read the article?
No, I actually.
This guy was using a 39 megapixel camera.
That's what I mean. The technology is there. It might not be available to everybody, but now that whole craziness that they do in these crazy crime dramas and stuff, where they're able to freeze on someone's eyeball and see the reflection of the murderer, and freeze on that, and then all right, can you enhance? Can you back that up? Now they can actually do that.
Yeah, if you have a 39 megapixel fucking camera.
Oh, come on, we're talking about Michael J. Fox here. I mean,
this one's 24 right here. So I mean, we're getting there. I mean, we're talking about awesomeness going on.
Okay, but that's just megapixels. That's not like frames per second and shutter speed and whatnot.
Hey, you know what? Keep talking while I'm looking at your. I got to find this.
Okay,
now I got to find this.
Yeah, you can.
Yeah,
find
I don't.
It. Just click right
I don't
there on
see
Daryl.
why that wouldn't exist.
What's that?
What, being able to capture a ping pong ball?
Yeah, I don't see how it would even be possible as advanced as camera tech. Well, I mean, think about the fact of moving pictures. Like when we do.
I'm not saying that you can't see where the ball is, but the ball is still going to be in motion, so you're going to see like a little trail.
And then just take a little clip of it out of that because it records at like what 30 frames per second. Like it's not impossible to take a picture of somebody. I don't care how fast he's moving. I mean, are we going to start calling Michael J. Fox a human vibrator? That's what I'm kind of wondering about. If that sitcom fails, I bet you he could do some.
I wonder how he and his wife get along these days.
Wow.
It's probably his Parkinson's is probably the best thing that ever happened to her. Baby, they're both asleep. He's knocked completely out. All she's got to do is just reach down, grab his iron, put it in place, and there you go.
Right at home.
Wow.
How you like that?
I think that's too soon.
Daryl? Too soon.
She's like, oh yeah, baby, bring me back to the future.
All right, this was the first thing that I thought of when I saw this article, and then sure enough, fucking Steve thought the same thing that I thought.
Good idea, Steve. You should do that.
Enhance. Enhance.
Just print the damn thing.
Oh, I think there was a really.
I don't get it.
You don't remember that? No, that's what we were talking about. So every crime
Right,
drama.
but that's from Super Trooper. Like, is he?
Because they were making fun of it.
Oh, I thought he was clicking on the little ad for like, would you like a bigger penis? And he's enhance.
Dude, you just took it to a whole nother level.
Yeah, I did.
You know that he's got a huge schlong. Look at him.
No, I don't.
He's big and brown. He's got a mustache.
I've never sat down to watch the entire movie.
Just look at him right there.
Holy crap, you're a horrible person.
You're
really
a horrible
are.
person.
No, Super Troopers? Come on,
It's like a
man.
classic movie, man.
Never watched it.
Oh my God. Hold on.
I've seen like half of it.
Evil shenanigans.
Horrible.
I've seen half of it, if that makes you feel better.
Now, to be honest, though, I haven't seen the beer one yet. The Beer Fest.
I haven't seen that one either.
Yeah, that's just something never. I need to put that on my list of things to do. I guess I would go torrent it tonight or something.
Yeah.
But no, a great movie. Anyway, so he's making fun of the whole crime drama thing, or even in Blade Runner, where he takes the photograph and he flips it backwards to find the mirror
so what's
reflection.
this other one here?
This is making fun of every single crime drama and Blade Runner and the whole nine who have done this whole nonsense enhancing thing, flipping the picture backwards so they can see who the culprit was.
Full screen.
Freeze that. Thumb in.
Ranging from MacGyver to Harrison Ford
With the right equipment.
to Battlestar Galactica.
Starred something with the guy that played King Lear. What's his name? Leonard Nimoy?
Law and Order?
No, Leonard Nimoy played King Lear.
No, saying Law and Order.
Oh, I thought you were
No.
thinking that I was that confused that I thought that Leonard Nimoy played King Lear in Law and Order.
Hold on, one more time.
Because that would be pretty fucking weird.
Is that like did we win Clue now?
Can we enhance this?
Can you enhance it?
Hold on
No.
a second, I'll enhance. Zoom in on
Because you didn't say Mrs. Petunia in the billiards room with a candlestick.
With the dildo.
What was it? Diamond encrusted.
Diamond encrusted dildo.
Oh my God.
That doubles as a candlestick.
Wait, all right, so we started the show with this, and I didn't want to begin the show on the first hour with such a upsetting. It could be upsetting to old people.
Yes.
You know, we're in the second hour right now, and the old people have either gone to sleep, or
No, I've not.
Yeah, you're right.
Maybe they've passed.
So, all right, so
on.
you-
I only took a nap during the show one time, and the cameras failed.
So you started an intriguing conversation on your show last week,
Yes.
and you had to bring it with you. something.
Well, it's not an intriguing conversation. It's just the fact that, before I came here, I heard that Free Keen was a cult, right? And Ian was the cult
That's what they tell us every day.
Yeah. Well, I hope this. Please don't censor me for this, but I have to report that in fact
This is the secret of Keen.
It is a cult. When I got there, they stripped me of all my clothes and burned them and made me wear a purple robe.
They bought you this stuff, or this is what you had in your car?
I escaped. I don't know why I'm here again, but I escaped the CAC, but they
All right.
They put me.
Hold on. Before you continue, can I say something real quick? I wonder how many of the people that hate Free Keen are going to believe every word that he's saying.
Well, now that you say it like that, now they might not. I mean, if you'd stayed away from that, they might have been completely. Was sriracha sauce involved?
Yeah. Well, no.
In a condom?
No, that didn't happen. But
I guess because that's
our grateful leader, Ian Freeman, peace be upon him, was gracious enough only to probe me 6 times that first night with a diamond encrusted dildo, and I must say that I have never had that much blood come out of my ass, but
It's pure evil!
Oh God!
I don't know what you guys. There was a bucket. You guys kept the blood. I'm not sure what you're gonna do with it.
Horrible, man.
But
This is red. You see, you had to get up to Darrow's level. So now both of you guys, man, you're just bringing the show to a.
but this is true. This actually happened.
Okay, so this is not made up.
This is not made up. I mean, this is what really goes on over there.
I can neither confirm nor deny the.
What sort of chants
accuracy
were
of
involved?
his-
Were there chants? Were there
it was a lot of
dancing and?
It was a lot of stuff about Ayn Rand and Murray Rothbard.
No, I know
and-
you're lying.
No, I mean for real. I didn't believe it either. I thought these people were too stupid to know who those were. But no, I mean it was bizarre. It was the most bizarre thing I've ever experienced in my life.
Okay, so the
indeed,
Ayn Rand Murray Rothbard thing, we made him watch a porno of Ayn Rand and Murray Rothbard.
Libertarian porn.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I get that.
because everybody knows that Ayn Rand was a freak.
Because I haven't been over there in a while, and I don't know what's going on these days. So I mean, the last time I heard anything, it was all sriracha sauce and a condom thing.
It must have changed.
No, that was Boner Joe talking about what he does at his house.
Oh, that's the Freeville homicide.
Yeah,
Homicide. Ooh, I like how that sounds.
homo something.
Yeah. So that's what they do. All right. So everyone's got their own rules. The only rules I have here is don't talk, no car talk. That's about it. And there was another one we came up tonight. No ska.
No ska. And
What was the other one?
I think it was actually no sports, but we kind of broke
Yeah, we broke the hell out of that rule. Didn't
No, it wasn't sports. It was poop. Don't talk
we?
about
Yeah,
poop.
no talking about poop. Yeah, the sports thing. I did.
I kept that part out of the story intentionally because there was poop involved.
Oh, okay. Well, but it's all about the cult though. So
Yeah.
yeah.
There's
No,
such
still- no,
weird rituals, and there were people walking around, that had really hairy feet. I think they were calling them
hobbits? Come on. Oh, in the Shire? That doesn't make any sense. Now you're getting crazy.
I'm telling you.
This story is just not making any sense anymore.
All right, don't believe me, but
His story didn't make sense when he said stripped naked.
When he said diamond encrusted dildo, I didn't believe it.
But Ian Freeman, peace be upon him,
Because that's not something you would ever use.
is a gracious leader who does not have 16,000 machine guns lining his walls in that.
No,
house.
I think he just. Well, I don't know actually if he did or not, but I think he sold his machine gun.
I can neither confirm nor
I don't-
deny.
I don't know what the answer to
I
that
don't
is.
know.
He could have him on his wall up in his bedroom. I don't know. Maybe there was just one of them.
I don't know.
Have you seen his sex wing?
I know that it's. Is it right next to the war ring? The war wing? No, I haven't seen that one yet. But obviously you have, because you have the tail as the tail.
Yeah, I did unspeakable things.
I believe it.
Unspeakable
Are these tales that will stay with you forever and ever?
If
Amen?
you watch the first, 3 minutes of Bruno, you can see a artist rendition of some of the things that happened.
I haven't seen Bruno yet. How have you seen Bruno, but you haven't seen some of these good shows?
It was $1.88 at Big Lots, and
Unbelievable.
so then I put it in, and after about 45 seconds, I was like, why the fuck am I watching this?
Exactly.
And then I said, oh, I paid $1.88. Maybe it gets better. And then 2 hours later, I said, why the fuck did I watch this? And then I answered it, oh, yeah, because I paid $1.88 and I thought it would get better.
So you wasted $1.88 in 2 hours of your time, is what you're saying.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's
unless of course
of
the wasted time transmitted into a future warning to never ever watch anything that man ever makes. And so
don't watch Bruno.
If you look at it that way, then you'll save yourselves many hours.
I've saved several people from watching Bruno.
And exactly, and you also have your own opinion, so you can save other people's lives from this tragedy. Of course, I haven't seen it yet, and the question is, will I take your review to heart?
If you want to watch it, I can dig the Divda out of my bag of stuff.
I don't know that I'll ever watch it. I have too much stuff on my plate. I have too many.
He's got a plate.
Too many projects. This is silver platter. So let me rephrase that. I have too many things on my silver platter. Hobbies, projects,
masturbation,
games. Oh well, that's not up. It's not like a.
He doesn't write that on his to-do list.
That's like one. That's like writing take a shower on your to-do list because it's just.
Some people forget to do that one.
Yeah, well, I don't. That's not something I forget to do. Okay. It has to happen. It fucking has to happen. Otherwise, things will turn out badly, and the day will not revolve, the way that it's supposed to.
Yeah,
and we can't have that.
So, someone sent you a message or posted something on the website.
Yes, according to it was on last week's episode 31. And it's on Redefining Words. It's by S.R. Hulam. It looks like Sir Hulam, maybe. And he goes on Redefining Words. In the case of kidnapped and put in a cage, that isn't a redefinition. That's a description of what actually takes place, presented without the connotations of legitimacy arrest has. In fact, arrest is a made-up word, an old one, that means to kidnap someone and prevent their independent travel, but only when it is done by the state agent. Since it has been continued around for centuries and has the brainwashing around those terms. Saying Eric got arrested for peeing on a tree doesn't get the correct emotional response that Eric was peeing on a tree when he got kidnapped and put in a cage. So there is a good reason to use a description of events instead. That's my 2 bits. Good show, guys. Rock on.
All right. So to put some context here for anyone that did not watch the episode last week.
Were you laughing or were you coughing?
I was coughing. I mentioned that I had seen on Facebook somebody posed the question of what would happen if a libertarian actually were kidnapped and put in a cage? How would you describe that
and then held
in a way other than kidnapped and put in a cage?
And then held for ransom.
Right, and held for ransom. Kidnapped, put in a cage, and held for ransom.
You say the same thing, but you say but not by a state agent.
Yeah.
Right.
So some Mexican drug cartel who moves into New Hampshire for whatever reason.
The Canadian drug cartel. They're closer.
Gotcha. So anyways, we've been entrenching on their turf for many years, and they finally know what we've got to take one of these guys out. What are we gonna do to scare these guys? I don't know. Let's kidnap one of them and hold them for ransom. And so that's exactly what they do.
They find some well-known cannabis activist in the Keene area, and they just kidnap him. And
man, Rich Paul just can't get a break.
Kyle Freebud was kidnapped and put in a cage, and he's being held for ransom.
Does he have like rich parents or something? Who expects to make any money off of Kyle Freebud?
Maybe they're hoping to get some of that 603 Metal money.
Some of that YouTube money he's been collecting?
Some of that YouTube money from his 603 Metal videos. I don't know.
$2.30 a month from AdSense.
I don't think he makes even that much from AdSense.
I brought up the Wiktionary definitions of both kidnap and arrest, and the verb of arrest is to seize someone with the authority of the law, to take into legal custody there, and that's it. And
And
then
that's from the 14th century.
right, and so so I looked up the etymology of these two words, and the etymology of kidnap is to seize and detain a person unlawfully, sometimes for ransom, and it doesn't say when that was from, but kidnap is also an old word.
Right.
It used to mean to actually to take kids so you
To
can
nab a child
So
is the etymology of the word.
to put them on your farm to work them as little slaves. So really the only difference between those two words is one is lawfully
Yes.
and one is unlawfully.
Right. So here's my sort of 2-cent response to the commenter who said that arrest is a made-up word. Would not every word technically be made up? It's just a matter of how old the word is.
Right. I think that every word.
So the very first word ever uttered by any human
Probably sounded a lot like
was a made-up word.
Right.
Because it did not exist until it was spoken.
right. So I mean, in our eyes, arrest is a euphemism of kidnap, the way that we look at it.
Right.
But these are old words, so there's no telling what they actually meant to people back then. Because I mean, it could mean like they could have had something that could have connotations with steal,
Right.
or to thieve from another person, or in the case of arrest, it means in French it means to stop. But yeah, all words this is how all words are built upon. I mean, and before you know it, they become commonplace. So arrest, everyone knows what arrest means, and they don't come off as euphemisms like they do to us, where they're fake, where they don't mean what they really mean. And in fact, to arrest somebody, so in order to arrest somebody, you would have to have the law backing you up, the power of the law to support and back you up in order to do it. Otherwise, you're only kidnapping somebody.
Yeah, so the etymology
So if you don't believe in the government, if you don't believe in the law that's backing you up, then you can never arrest somebody. You're only forcibly preventing someone from their freedom, from their liberties. And that's what it said. That's what I saw another definition of kidnapping, or I think it was arresting. It's to relieve someone of their liberty.
So the etymology of the word arrest comes from the Old French arrester, meaning to stay or to stop, which is from Vulgar Latin, which is from proper Latin ad restar, meaning to stop, remain behind, stay back. And then there's some Proto-Indo-European that is mixed in there as well. But basically it's to stop and to stay behind.
Mm-hmm.
So, again, if we're going to say that it's a made-up word because it came from the 14th century, then you must say that every other word that has been created before or since is a made-up word.
Everything in anyone's vocabulary was at one time a made-up word, and you can't get around it. And they do evolve over the years. They become different. Some of them fall out of favor. Some words that fell out of favor 100 years ago are coming back into favor. When I call Corey a jabroni for things that he says about the cult here in Keene.
Peace be upon Ian Freeman.
Mm-hmm, yeah, he's like, well, what's a jabroni? I'm like, well, I don't know what a jabroni is, but I heard my dad say it. And now The Rock
and
is
Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson used to say it back in the 90s.
well, yeah. In actuality, when he started saying it, I was like, wow, yeah, that's the first time I've ever heard another human being say jabroni, ever. Because that's something my dad used to call me when I was a dumbass. And now Dwayne, the cool guy, is saying it. And how do you like how it works like that?
Yeah.
No, and I think it's fallen out of favor straight out because anyone who was to use the word jabroni is
You racist bastard!
well, no, he's trying to be like The Rock, and that's just that's above your station in life. You can't go to that level.
Yeah,
you can't compete with Vic Diesel. That's his name, right?
No.
Yeah, it is.
No, his name is Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson.
Go to Facebook and like Vic Diesel's page. He does a lot of good.
Stop telling people what to do.
I recommend Vic Diesel's webpage,
So
Facebook page.
Conan Get that one little drop ready.
Oh, it's about that time?
The one that you love ever so much.
What did you learn?
Oh my God.
Corey Moore, what did you learn during the show tonight?
Wow. I don't know. I learned that you guys have some real problems with the city of Keene, and rightfully so.
You didn't know that before you visited
I
Keene?
knew that, but I mean, you guys really drove it home.
I think we need to really we really need to clarify this. I think it's important to know because we tell this horror story every week. We let the people of the world know the shenanigans that are
people of Earth
Evil shenanigans.
that are going on here in Keene every single week, and the triumphs we have ever so now and then. But mostly we're dealing with the evil shenanigans. But the truth of the matter is, this shit is going on everywhere.
Yes, it is.
It is going on in every single city, every single state, and every single country. The only difference is there are enough of us here that we are sweeping up the dust out from under the carpet that some fuckhead swept under the carpet to get rid of. We're unsweeping. We're dusting the carpets, and we're letting everyone know that this is, you're not going to get away with this nonsense. You're not going to get away with secret meetings. You're not going to get away with taking federal stimulus monies and buying stupid Bearcats or bridges or things that we don't need. We're going to continue to let you guys know that you were in the wrong.
But that bridge was needed, and the people of Keene wanted it because they pitched in $100,000 on that $2.3 million
Yeah,
bridge.
less than about a 1% of what it actually cost to build that stupid bridge.
Not even.
It's horrible the route that these people are going. But to paint a pretty picture for the rest of you, if you're an optimist and you see it as a pretty picture, this shit is no different than anywhere else. This is the same crap that's going on everywhere, and the difference here is we know what's going on, and we're letting them know what's going on, and we're letting everyone know what's going on. And the more people who come here,
the not in me,
Corey, get over your cult aversion. You don't have to be a part of the cult. You can come live out here in North Keene like I do. I don't hang out with those guys.
Okay.
So
I don't know how much. I don't know how much my anus can handle.
We can start our own cult.
We could.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's do that.
North Keene cult.
The
Conan?
the NKK.
What did you learn today?
After that little spiel right there, I lost my train of thought.
Woo, woo.
We talked about bars.
Yes.
Talked about cults.
Yes.
What did we talk about in the first hour? Keene.
Keene
is
the lawsuit.
Lots of sports.
I don't know if you lost me. You guys lost me for about 5 minutes there. I don't know if I learned anything good this evening. Except
you
that,
did learn something.
Oh, I learned that Corey Moore is a good guy, and I'm going to check out your podcast. Hey, where can people find you, by the way?
They can find my podcast at CoreyMooreShow.com. That is CoreyMoore.show.com.
The way that
because there was something that I said earlier in the show, and you're like, I never knew that. So I know that you learned something.
Okay, yeah, the guy with the thick rimmed glasses on Futurama, and I don't know his name.
Oh,
Hubert Farnsworth.
Farnsworth.
All right, that doesn't help me.
And he's like Tesla.
J. Farnsworth.
That doesn't really stick, and he's not like Tesla. That's what I learned.
Yes.
But he is, because he's old and senile, and Tesla at the end of his life was also
the way
old
that
and
LRN
senile.
works. But you're not on the podcast loop. You actually have a whole hour, right?
2 hours. Live show Friday nights, 10 to midnight.
So I have no excuse, because the way the podcast loop works is that it's just so sporadic, and it's just everything is everywhere, and you can't like fall. All right, it's Tuesdays. I gotta listen to Kokesh or whatever. It doesn't work that way. It's just actually, it probably does work the way. It's just I haven't figured out the schedule.
No,
I have no excuse for not listening to Corey Moore Show.
You don't.
And I actually met Darling at a she was at
Pork Fest.
No, she was at the Stone Farm Liberty thing.
Yes, she was
With her
smoking
dog
on her sonic screwdriver type vaporizer.
She had her dog with the demon eyes.
Yeah,
Very
Louie, right?
Yeah, very strange dog, demented actually. Now I see where you get your demented concept of reality.
Yeah, Nikki Darling has me under a trance right now.
Cool.
Yeah.
So
does her boyfriend know about this?
She made me a boyfriend. That's just an optical illusion. What are you talking about?
Is it an FWB?
Wait. Friends with benefits
Yes.
are so. All right, that makes sense.
No, he's Alan the Alda. He doesn't exist. He's Alan.
He sounds
Alda's-
like Chris fucking Cantwell.
Oh, you know what? Don't tell her that.
I said it on your show.
Don't they go after Chris Cantwell types, the bad boy types who are screaming at the screen all the
Nikki
time?
doesn't like Chris because Chris, while terribly intoxicated, kicked her ass.
That's not what happened.
Like lightly or like hard?
No, Chris. She was.
I don't
trying
know.
to-
I
she
heard
was-
like the fifth hand version after
she
several
told-
days.
And was it his foot or was it his hand? And he's
she
just a
was
strong
trying
guy.
to. He was being a drunk asshole, and she was trying to take him back to his campsite. And in repayment, he threw a water bottle at her face and called her a cum dumpster.
And kicked her into the fire and then spat on her.
I don't think that part happened.
That's what I heard.
Well, I don't think that happened.
And again, that was like 27th afterthought, people, passing it around. You played the game Operator before?
Yeah.
Where
That's
you
exactly
whisper
what it
something into somebody's ear and then they whisper it, and then
Chris
once
Cantwell's
it
a
gets
dick.
to the
What
end
else is
of the thing, then it turns into something else.
We were talking earlier this evening about having like an alt expo so that we can actually have room for Chris Cantwell. Cantwell.
He can't well do that.
Yeah, he can't. That's how
was
you.
a drinking
That's how I remember it.
Yes.
So, we'll have to have like a separate.
He knows
space.
how to tell a joke, but he can't well.
We'll have to have a separate space for him and Bueller to have their fisticuffs fight, where only one can leave the ring.
In a steel cage, along with the Porkfest bear.
And the reason we have to do this is because Cantwell can't have anything to do with the Porkfest 214, which I think is very silly. But in order for him, but he's not forbidden from
Rogers
Campgrounds.
Well, Cantwell bring bear mace to this.
Probably.
If there's a bear in the ring,
even if there's not a
Even
bear
if there
in the
is
ring.
not a bear.
Yes, he probably will.
Because that's how he fights.
If it's no holds barred,
you did
then
hear
yes.
about that, right?
well, the question is, are they actually going to compete? Are they actually going to go in there and fight? Because when Bueller's an ex-Marine,
Probably.
My money's on Bueller.
Cantwell probably has like 100 pounds on Bueller
My money's
My money's
Bueller.
on the bear.
and bear mace. Oh, and you can't remember. You can't forget the bear. I mean, what kind of bear?
Oh,
is
and
this?
I forgot to tell you that
is
it's
this a
going
little-
to be it's going to be an electric fence.
Is this a little black bear that like goes in the dumpster, or is this a big old mama bear like a 300 pounds?
Whichever one we can snag from the dumpster.
You're not snagging a 300-pound bear from the dumpster.
Sure, we will.
That bear's going to go.
Not if
And-
you
and-
put like 2 things of baby aspirin in the trash, right there next to some of Mandrick's baklava,
Right on the top.
right on the top,
Oh
where
my
you know the
God.
bear will get it.
Good luck lifting it out of the dumpster. That's all I'm saying.
He's not going to crawl in the dumpster. I slept by the dumpster. I know what the bear does,
My God.
but I don't know what the fox says. So, did anybody ask Daryl what Daryl learned tonight?
Daryl, what did you learn tonight?
Daryl learned that in France there actually is a place called what the hell is this? There's a newspaper called Le Telegram, and
That sounds very French.
there's also a place called France Bleu, and some French guy and his French wife got fined for undeclared labor after a customer returned empty glasses to the bar. But the Nazis that claim that they owe money say it didn't happen the way they say that it did, but they didn't.
And by the way, for clarification,
on to-
who are the Nazis you keep talking about? Is this the
Something
state?
called URSSAF.
So for short, Nazi.
Yeah.
It says it's their social security agency.
Yeah. So
France has some really strict labor laws.
they do. They have very strict labor laws, and
That's why they keep losing.
I
people.
heard something a couple of years ago that the unemployment tax in France is 100% of the wage. So for every euro of salary,
Wait, how does that work? So
for every euro of salary that I give to you, I have to give the state €1.
okay. Because I was thinking, if it's 100%, you're not making anything, which is exactly what.
No, it comes out of the employee.
Which at the end of the day, if you really want to just get the social, if you just want to just break it down and get straight up to 100% socialism, it's just why not? Why not just give your whole paycheck to the state?
The stuff comes from the employer, not the employee.
A lot of Europe, it's like that, or most of it.
Yeah, I mean, why are we still messing around? I mean, let's just get down to brass tacks. Pay everything that I make at Walmart or wherever I work goes straight into the state's hands, and they pay my food, my housing, my clothing, my daycare, my everything. Just kind of like is it Switzerland where they're going to the minimum income wage?
Sweden, I believe.
Where they're doing, everyone gets a minimum.
Yeah, the Swedes are fairly socialist like that.
Yeah.
Actually, that kind of thing is more efficient than the way welfare systems work. If you eliminate welfare and put in a minimum income that everyone receives, it's less bureaucracy.
And on top of that, you also have to keep in mind that they are one type of people. They have one culture. They have pretty much. I mean, I guess there is going to be differences in opinion, of course, but
there's more than one culture in Sweden.
Yeah, but it's such a small.
In the far north, there's the Sumi.
But it's but overall, it's such a small country with one frame of mind. It's kind of like the same thing with Japan. I mean, you have all these people who are thinking one way. You can't do the same kind of thing in like America.
That's why the U.S. government just needs to go away.
Where
there can be like 75 new nations.
That's what I mean. Let every single nation handle their business like this. If they decide that they want to have a minimum income, or they want to have
snorting coke again.
Yeah, I know. I almost want to try some of that menthol, whatever it is.
Go for it.
No, I'm just kidding.
Breathe in through your nose.
What is it, by the way?
Oh my God.
Oh, it's good. It's good.
It's the Vicks vapor.
It is menthol
stuff.
No, I mean, but at the end of the day, let these laboratories of experiments, build and come to their own conclusions, and
metamaletamine.
And neighboring states can see what their buddies are doing, and work on their own flavor of government. But this whole one size fits all federal government that we have it's just horrible. I mean, it just can't work. I mean, we are not the ants, the little beehive that the controllers think that we are.
Yeah,
we're all different flavors and tastes and whatnot.
At least your mother is.
Yeah, she is.
I got a weird mental image, and I want to ask a question, but I know we're running out of time.
We got about 4 minutes.
Should I ask the question? Okay. Since we're all different flavors, Corey Moore, what flavor do you think Conan is?
Oh, that's a good question.
Butterscotch.
Butterscotch.
Conan, what flavor do you think that I am?
I was going to say Corey, but no, you are. Oh fuck! Some kind of something a little spicy, something like Louisiana hot sauce on
Spam
on pasta.
Pasta.
Ooh,
yeah.
All right, Louisiana hot sauce on pasta with a side of not Spam. Good beef hot dogs.
Okay.
Cut. So it's kind of a little trailery, little white trashy, but at the same time you've got the pasta in there, and that provides a good healthy dose of foreignness.
It's funny that you mentioned pasta and a couple other things mixed in, because you want to know something that I think is really good. Pasta with ranch dressing and bacon bits.
Hashtag fat guy recipes.
It could be gluten-free pasta.
Never tried it. Don't know that I ever will get to that, but I'll think about it. Not heavy on the ranch. It had to be really light, a really light coating. But the bacon bits, I don't think you can really go wrong at bacon bits.
Yeah.
You can't go wrong with
and a little bit of cheese.
real bacon bits, not like cut up
Right.
bacon, not friggin' the crusty scabs.
Right.
But
So
What flavor am I?
wait, what
Daryl?
flavor am I?
hold on.
Who do you get to?
He already said that you're butterscotch.
But how does that make sense? Okay, so I'm like what?
I don't know. I didn't know. I don't understand what we're trying to
Okay,
get
yeah,
with the flavor thing.
he's right. We didn't know I didn't know we were going with that.
No,
Yeah.
no. I mean, well, I don't know. The long hair, the complexion kind of remind me of butterscotch. I don't know.
Okay,
Let's see. You're from Ohio.
Yes.
I see vanilla bean.
Hold on. No.
Oh, come on. That's too
I've got this. I've got this.
Yeah.
I've eaten several times in Ohio. I've never had a good meal, so the next time I go through Ohio, I'm taking a sandwich.
You can't judge him on the state that he's from.
Hold on.
Yeah, Daryl.
You have to judge him on him.
Come to Ohio and I'll take you to some very good
Hold
restaurants
on.
because I had some
So-
food down there at Koto and it was the worst Japanese food I ever had in my life and paid $70 for a
So
meal.
I ate breakfast at this place in Ohio one time, and they had biscuits and gravy on the menu. And being from the South, I like biscuits and gravy, so I ordered it. And these dumb Yankee fuckheads put brown gravy on a biscuit, like what you put on beef.
That's not
Not
how
white sausage gravy.
But what does that have to do with Corey?
I'm getting there.
I've never had biscuits and gravy like that. I've always had it.
Okay.
like in
I don't
the
think
South.
I've ever had brown gravy on a biscuit.
No.
Yeah, so I told these dumb fucks that that's not what you
dumb
put
fucks.
on biscuits and gravy, and they said, well, nobody's ever complained about it before. And then not 5 minutes later, two truckers the next table over ordered the biscuits and gravy, got the same thing, bitched about it, and this same dumb cunt told them, ain't nobody bitched about it before. So, long story short, whatever fucking restaurant that was, never eat there again.
Where was this in Ohio?
Wait, what did you
in Ohio? That's all the
Ohio's
fuck I
a
know.
huge state.
Wait, what did you say to
It's
the
like
waitress?
6 or 7 New Hampshires.
What was it that you said to the waitress?
I don't have to get used to fucking shit!
And you fucking you ran out of the building and you slammed the fucking glass.
So, I don't know. If you're going from Pittsburgh to Cleveland, whatever part of Ohio
That's
you
actually where I live.
fucking drive through. So anyway, since I've never had a good meal in Ohio,
Okay, now we are running out of time.
I'm going to guess that, and I know that Corey's gluten-free, so I would
Carb-free.
say, carb-free.
Yes.
Okay, so no bagels. You eat a lot of bacon. So I'm going to say that Corey is like a pork chop that has been marinated in Worcestershire sauce.
That sounds so delicious.
Is it on a skewer?
No, it is not.
So it's
Pan
just like,
But
fried?
it's been slightly overcooked.
so it's in like one of those little small crock pots. So it's in a small crock pot.
No, not in a crock pot.
How is it cooked then?
In a pan, like
Sautéed in Worcestershire sauce.
it was marinated in Worcestershire sauce, Chestershire,
And then-
however
and
you
then-
pronounce
and then
it,
sautéed to
and
correct-
then like pan fried, but slightly overcooked.
I got the raw deal on this one.
I got the raw deal on this one. No one got to explain who I am with this
Yeah.
this fucking
And
butterscotch
now
thing.
we're out of time.
Yeah, now we're out of time. Hey, if you've been watching and you know what this whole butterscotch thing is all about, leave us a message. You can do it at blacksheeprising.org. You can do it on the actual YouTube itself. You can, because this will be on the YouTube. It will also be available
All
to
of the YouTubes.
You better believe every single one of them. I'm going to go to every YouTube that I ever see, and I'm going to put blacksheeprising.org in the messages, in the notes there.
Nice.
But no, if you want to listen to the audio, you can find that all at blacksheeprising.org. If you want to see the video, you can do it at YouTube. It's also linked at blacksheeprising.org. If you want to leave us a note, you want to leave me a message, show at blacksheeprising.org. If you want to leave a voicemail, a voice message,
Oh yeah, we've got the voicemails.
that's right, 267-521-2771. Go ahead and leave us something creative. If it's good enough, we go ahead and play it on the show. I can't wait for the first crazy, maybe Rupture will
Dave from New York.
Maybe Dave from New York.
Yes.
Our Running Wolf Kenpo, our Repture will leave us something creative and nonsensical that we can...
Maybe John McLean will call and leave a fucking message.
Great. I mean, that's...
Chris Cantwell.
Maybe Chris has. Maybe Chris will be on the show one day. Would you be able to
Is
handle
he
Chris?
allowed in the
Yeah,
state?
I could handle Chris.
Yeah, Chris was on Shire TV one time. He did a pretty good job.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind. Chris, come on the show, man. Next time you're in town. You can find Daryl here at fpb.cc. You can find Corey Moore at the CoreyMooreShow.com.
Yeah.
TheCoreyMooreShow.com.
There's no the. Just CoreyMooreShow.com. It's cool.
Are there any other programs you're working on at the moment, or is that's pretty much the
That's pretty much it. I'm an occasional guest on the Angel Clark Show.
Yeah, you can. Yeah,
You can find all of that at radiofreedom.us.
And of course, he was on 2 shows this week. He was on Daryl's show, as well as Free Talk Live.
Free Talk Live.
So if you go back in the archives
He's done
this week,
4 shows in 4 nights.
so you're probably pretty tired out, and
Not really.
and now you got to drive home.
No, I'm actually going to Delaware to visit Angel for a few days. I'll be on her show live on Thursday.
There you go.
And I'll be doing my show from her studios on Friday.
There you go. Top it off with a little Angel.
Yeah.
So good for you. We're going to leave you this evening with some Red Hot Chili Peppers. This is My Friends. It's a very strange song. It's a very melodic, very cool sounding song. The video is very strange. I'm going to try to upload both the this video and as well as the Throw It on the Ground video. I don't always succeed in...
I throw it on the ground.
I'm not always able to succeed in the uploading of other people's videos, and sometimes I have to
flip them backwards.
I'm going to try to flip it backwards on both of these, and I'm going to see what happens. I'm going to see if they flag me. But this is Red Hot Chili Peppers, My Friends. Love it a lot. Good, crazy video. Corey, thank you for being on.
Thanks for having me.
Don't wait 5 years, man.
Okay.
Come on, man. School? You don't need school. Look at me. I didn't finish my school.
You know what you can do to the school?
I was like...
Can throw it on the ground.
I was like, it's nonsense, man. I don't
I'm
need all that
not
crap.
part of your
I've been
system.
working on it for so long, I have to finish it.
I know. So was I.
That's what she said.
But that's the wrap it up song.
Yeah.
Anyways, Daryl.
And then throw it on the ground.
Thank you, sir, for being here, being the co-host and whatnots.
Yep.
Guys, we'll see you next week, same time.
Don't forget the Facebooks. Facebook.com/blacksheeprising.org.
That's right. Leave us messages. Leave us comments. That's what I get off on. I love it. I need more of it. You know I get off on it. I love it.
Yeah.
I have an ego. I have an
throw it on the
ego.
ground.
I can see the stains on the floor.
I know. Guys, we'll see you next week. Good night.
My friends are so depressed. I feed a question of your loneliness. Come back, 'cause I'll be on your side. You know I will. You know I will. Ex-girlfriend called me up. Alone and desperate on the prison phone. And
Machine Rising After Show.
All right, so maybe for part of the after show while this is airing, homie over here can explain the Conan tastes like butterscotch.
Butterscotch. He didn't say he tastes.
I have no idea. The complexion.
We asked what flavor.
You asked him out of the air.
Ice cream. Like,
I at least had a minute to think about it.
True.
And Corey just had to come out of nowhere and just say, because we don't know each other.
Yeah. I just met this dude.
Wait, who did I get to describe?
You got to describe me.
See, at least I know you. You got to describe Corey because you know him a little more than I do.
Yeah.
See, that doesn't make sense. That can't work. Corey, I don't hate you.
I appreciate that.
So, do you have any explanation on the butterscotch?
I explained it. I looked
He's
at his
got
hair,
long hair.
and his complexion reminded
He
me
said
of butterscotch.
complexion.
Yeah.
So essentially, he said I tasted French German.
What do you think that Anthony Kiedis would taste like?
Butterscotch.
Well, don't you know?
weren't you a Chili Peppers groupie?
No.
I think he's definitely got some spice in him. But then he did that whole when he cropped his hair like a fucking Prince Gallant or whatever it was. Do you remember that a couple years ago?
No. I imagine that he would taste like cigarettes and booze.
What about right now? When he's looking all Dr. Seuss with his hair up like that.
Oh, definitely. Like he would taste like if you licked the bottom of an ashtray that somebody spilt their bourbon in.
But with peppermint.
I could see that a little bit of Listerine, maybe.
Yeah.
Peppermint schnapps and bourbon
Okay.
spilt in the bottom of an ashtray. A really filthy, nasty, dirty ashtray.
I don't get the whole dirty cigarette off of him. Maybe off his buddy Flea.
The odor travels.
I think the question we need to ask is whether any of these guys are smokers, because these are all from California. These guys they're probably all Greenpeace, straight up, don't smoke in bars guys. You don't think so? I think so.
Dude, they were partiers back in the 80s, smoking.
80s was a long time ago, man.
It was.
This is fucking...
Yeah, and
I mean,
This is
the
30 years.
tobacco
This
flavor stays in you for a long time.
This is 30 years later, man.
Listen up, kids. You smoke one cigarette and your semen will
That's
taste
it, man.
like
your
tobacco forever.
seminal fluids will taste like tobacco for the next 40 years.
I don't know about...
You just ruined your marriage forever.
Yes.
Your wife will never be able to suck your cock ever.
Hold on.
It's
I wanna
over.
know
It's
how
fucking over.
I want to know how you know what seminal fluids taste like.
We were talking scientific. One of those scientist guys out there has already done the study for me, and I don't have to really know what it tastes like.
And you
Someone
know how he did that study, of course.
with what?
First-hand experience.
With
Or maybe
Oh,
two-hand
God.
experience, depending on...
I think we're really ruining this song.
And then if you asked him, what are you doing? He would say...
No, it's
and then you say, don't talk with your mouth full.
Don't bite down.
I haven't seen this video in a long time.
I've never seen this video.
I saw it like 10 years ago. This is the first time I ever saw it.
I don't think I've ever heard this song.
It's a good song, man. You haven't heard 99% of the songs that I play in this show, and I don't play fucking really weird, strange.
Yes, you do.
No, they're all semi-popular.
That's pretty mainstream.
This was mainstream 10 years ago. Not 10 years ago. 15 years ago.
15 years ago, yeah.
Good stuff.
I don't think that song was mainstream.
That was top 40, I'm pretty sure.
Did you just see that video? That they actually put money into that video. That was a well done, very nice looking video.
Okay, just because they put money into a video doesn't mean that
That
went
makes
top
it mainstream. I'm not talking about top 10. I'm talking about mainstream. I'm talking about it played on MTV like at least 5 times a day.
No.
During its heyday.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, it did.
No.
They would only play the top 10 stuff multiple times
Not
a day.
back 15 years ago.
15 years ago,
Yes.
it was a different, and especially if you watched MTV2.
The mid-90s? No.
You remember when MTV2 came out? and all they were allowed to play was
No.
video. That's where you got your videos.
No.
And then the other channel was just whatever, I don't know, Sex Lies and Vacation on Hawaii.
VH1.
That was before the teen pregnancy ones.
Yeah, it was way before that. What's the word I'm
Beavis
looking
and
for?
Butthead.
Road Trip.
Not Road Trip. It was before Road Trip,
The
actually.
Real World.
Real World. Yeah, that's what it was.
Back when the Real World was actually entertaining and about something
And actually real ish.
instead of people just throwing shit at each other.
Yeah. Although the very first season wasn't that real because the crew tried to sort of manipulate things. There was the one episode in the first season to where somebody from the MTV crew put a porno on the coffee table to try to create artificial tension.
That's funny as hell.
I used to be a big fan of the Survivors.
Never watched it.
In fact, I always had a secret ambition of actually being, one of the survivors. I thought I would have done really
You
well.
had a crush on the naked guy?
No, I had a crush on the whole idea of being stranded on an island and having to live off of sparse ingredients that
So
were
why
available
did you
to me.
never apply for the show?
I just had other things on my mind. Is this still going on? Maybe I will.
It is.
Yeah, I think it's still on.
I can be the crazy anarchist libertarian type.
What about Big Brother?
I think I watched like little segments from one episode or one season.
That
and
shit's cray.
I do remember one thing from Big Brother, and it was the whole toothbrush. Some girl took a toothbrush.
Cray.
Cray?
Oh, come on. You do, but
Yeah, that's a urban.
Crazy?
No, it's a urban. Yeah, it's an urban thing.
It's kind of, wow, you're really out of touch with like lingo.
It's crazy.
I didn't realize that it got shortened to just one cray.
Yeah.
No, a girl took
It used to be cray cray, and I didn't know it got shortened.
Yeah, it's just cray.
a girl took her Nemesis toothbrush and scrubbed the toilet with it and put it back in the toothbrush stand. And it was so bad that the producers actually had to come down and let her know that she had to let him know that, what she had done, so that he wouldn't go and use it.
Oh no, I prefer the Surreal Life when Ron
those
Jeremy,
are so good.
Ron Jeremy and Vanilla Ice got into it.
Is that the one with the time clock guy was on it? That was the same episode, right? Same season?
Flava Flav. I don't think Flava Flav was.
Yeah,
on it.
I think he was, but
Was
it
he?
wasn't the same season.
Yeah, there was 2 or 3 seasons of that they did.
I think that what really prevented me from watching this crap any longer was the fact that I moved to a location where I just said, you know what, I'm not buying cable anymore. So now all I got is internet, and I can still watch all that crap, but it takes me, it's like 2 steps more that I have
I've
to
not
make.
watched any of this shit in like 3.5 years.
Well, I mean, when's the last time you had cable?
3.5 years ago.
That's all I'm saying. I'm saying that if people have cable available to them, they will have a tendency to just come home from work, put their feet up, and just start watching whatever the fuck's on the cable, whatever's on the TV, whether it's, beneficial to them or not. They're just going to sit down and watch something. And I think that might be the crux of the problem, worldwide is, as far as our inability to come up out of this nonsense shell that we've contained ourselves in, this sand that our ostrich heads have stuck our head in, is that it's why the fuck? I mean, as long as they have
Can
good
you
shows,
blame them though?
As long as they
you're
have
working
good,
your ass off all the damn time, and you got a couple hours after you get off work, you got to go to bed and get up and do it again. Why not?
well, I mean, one of the reasons. Well, this is what drives me. People, different. People here in the community have different reasons for what they do, but for my reasoning is based solely on money, because I know that I can do it cheaper than the next guy can do it. Because I've grown up my whole life being kind of a little bit of a jack of all trades, and so I know what things cost, and I do a lot of my own work. And when I get home and I start to see figures and I start to see what lawyers really cost and what government officials cost and what it costs to pave a road or something or salt a road, I'm like, well, no, it doesn't cost that much to salt a road. That's ridiculous. I mean, there's some Joe living in Troy or in Fitzwilliam or in Alton or wherever who would do that for half of that price. He would do it out of his own truck. He would have Mexicans in the back of his truck, you spooning it out with shovels.
The good essay.
For half of that price. I know it's not worth that much.
Mexicans or Canadians?
Oh, you guys have to have Mexicans up here.
We have Indians.
You have Indians
and Chinese. Well, no, I don't even know what the Asians are. They might be a combination of a lot of things, but we do have Indians. We have a lot of Indians actually. A lot of them are tech guys.
Yeah.
Do you mean from India?
No, I mean
or Native American.
I said in the last episode I'm going to always refer to American Indians as Native Americans from now on, and Indians are going to be Indians. Indians from India will be Indians. And
can we just go back to calling it Hindustan?
I've never heard it called Hindustan.
That's the old archaic name for it.
If you really want to, instead of the F-bomb counter, why don't you have a counter for every time Daryl says something remotely racist?
No, because I say more things racist than he does.
That's true.
So what is it? Can we combine fucks and you can have multiple counters?
Multiple counters, yes.
Just have the screen full of counters.
And the line cross counter.
And in every episode, you can have like a bar count. You can see that how everything looks.
So by the end of the show, it's just a bunch of bars.
That's a lot of work, and I don't know that I have enough tech skills to go to that level.
That's a good idea, Steve. You should do that.
Steve, I can't pay you anything, but would you come be our counter?
Steve would want to charge you a bunch of money and then change the website to Drupal 7.
I don't know.
And a bunch of other stuff that every time you needed to do something, you would have to call him.
As much time as we talked about Steve on the show, we haven't had him on the show yet. I'm going to talk to him.
He's not going to come on the show unless we pay him.
No, he might want to be a counter guy.
Steve's not here, man.
Maybe I'll give him some drops too.
Steve's not here, man.
Go home.
Steve's not here.
All right.
Speaking of go home, it's
about that time. Corey, Katrina, named after the hurricane. I hope you guys
raunchy like a hurricane.
Corey, I hope you don't prolong it too much longer. We're having a lot of fun here, man.
Yeah. Sure seems like
it. Yeah. All right. See you guys. We're going home. You, Bucks.